forged from the love of liberty in the fires of hope and prayer. With boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
Yeah. Who they? Christmas morning I sleeping late cause I heard the wife hang out of the curtain. But between Joey and daylight I hearing music I thought I was dreaming. I swear I hear a maraca shaking, somewhere I hear a mandolin tuning. Now and again I hear they repeating this sweet refrain. Bacayard, 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 Bacayard. Juve morning parang song, it's sweet for soul. Just like when you have jigger in your toe. Bacayard, 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 Bacayard. Parangeros climbing, misters, they had me in tears. Parang music playing all day, me and the white doing chores, and his only carols are hearing. But now I feel like the whole world shaking. But with a buck, they get such a sweet string, and that special factor will have me under control. Bacayard, 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 Bacayard. This thing they call parang music, sweet but true, like you kiss a ball and a juicy fruit. Bacayard, 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 Bacayard. all you come from. And so much all about. But it's only one to trust you. Hey, mandolin man, play the music. Play the music. Yes, I like that. Mandolin boy. You from Calparona? Yes, man. I wanted to wake up the wife to make up some black coffee for them fellas. But the way she was sleeping hard, I telling myself I go do the honors. I really had to give the girl credit, or she could sleep through all the sweet music. But suddenly just so she wake and started to sing. Bacayard, 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 Bacayard. Make all the balls in my body raise and some. Parang music sweet like paradise plum. Bacayard, 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 yeah, Bacayard, oh, Bacayard, who dey, Bacayard, neighbor, brother, come down, yeah, boy, that is music.
Wake up, rise up, it's the NETT Radio Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music and vibes to start your day right.
Yeah. Who dey? Yeah.
Well, good morning, everybody, and of course, welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Who dey?
The Wednesday edition of the Breakfast Show, and of course, it is happening on NETT Radio, New Era TT Radio, and Gayelle Caribbean TV. So, wherever you're coming in from, Trinidad and Tobago, good morning. Neighbors in the Caribbean, good morning. Friends and family, streaming all around the globe, good day to you. And of course, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Different time zones, time slots. We really appreciate your company. Trusting that you had a really good night's rest. And of course, ready for everything that will be coming your way today, because trust me, something coming up. Good or bad, something is coming, so be prepared for everything. Let me say much thanks as always to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day. And everything that we do there, God, let it be a blessing unto you. People, I'm yours truly, Sir Charles. As always, happy am I to be in the space with you. And I want to officially welcome you inside of the Breakfast Show.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The Breakfast Show is here, we bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line, let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Oh, good vibes rolling through the air. The Breakfast Show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your doubles or your morning drink.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo! Oh, it's Sunday. Yes, it is. And of course, it is another day of the Breakfast Show. It's another day, to start all over again. If you've been worried about things, guess what? You have the opportunity to make a fresh new start today. So we're thankful for that. As we welcome you to the Breakfast Show, well, let me say good morning to my co-host, Richard, who will join us later on in the hour. And of course, Wendell, who's always here very early, shows up very much on time, regardless of where he is. And that is greatly appreciated. So thank you. And good morning, Wendell.
Thank you, Sir Charles, and good morning. Good morning to you, and good morning to Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. Good afternoon to our listeners in some parts of the world. That would be in Ethiopia. And good evening to all listeners in Japan and anywhere else you are listening to the absolute best show on radio. Thanks for joining us. As Richard said, we know you have choices. I don't think so. But anyway, thanks for joining us here on the morning and helping us to continue to do what we do. All right, I have some birthday greetings that I'll get out of the way early. Nichelle Stephen Ada. She is my cousin who lives out there in the States. I don't know where she is now because she's be all over the place. Anne Wong, she used to live in St. James at one time. I don't know where Anne is now. Morning, Anne. Happy birthday. Nelson West, our old colleague of mine, used to be a member of the Coast Guard. Is Coast Guard you were in, Nelson? I think you were in the Coast Guard. Ricky D'Souza, Ansel Coward, Adrian Alexis, Curtis Chase, who's a member of the media. You all would know him. You see him a lot with a camera around his neck. He is also celebrating his birthday today. So have an absolutely fantastic day. Tomorrow, of course, is July 23rd. It's Haile Selassie's birthday, in case you didn't know. The Rastas, the 12th tribe, I think they celebrate. They have a big celebration tomorrow. All right? So those are my greetings for the morning.
Rastafari.
Yeah. You know that story, I don't know if I sent you a couple of clips, Sir Charles, in the tragedy in Guyana.
Yeah.
Where they have rescued, I think, about 70, 80 odd people. They have recovered about 40 odd bodies. So there are quite a few people still missing in that tragedy.
Yeah.
The leader of the opposition, Azruddin Mohammed, was out in a boat. He was actually monitoring things and helping them to recover bodies. And he was saying that, complaining that he was waiting out there so long because he was actually showing you where he had seen a body. But they told him not to take up the bodies. I don't know why. They insisted that he not touch the bodies and the Coast Guard must come and get it. And he said he was waiting, actually parked up in his boat by this body for 2 hours and no sign of the Coast Guard. I found that incredulous.
That is really something else.
And he said he's actually seeing the body decaying and deteriorating in front of him, So hopefully they would fix that,
As you're talking about it, let me see if I can play it. I was playing it earlier on and it was kind of sticking, but I'm hoping that it plays good now. I don't know, how the internet is. But
let's show people today.
I just want to give the public an update. At 1:04 p.m., I posted where we found a body. And then an hour after, we posted 2 more bodies that we found. Now is approaching 3 o'clock, 10 minutes to 3. I posted the coordinates where the 3 bodies are. As you can see, we have a body right here. And this one is rapidly deteriorating. Rapidly. And we're worried if the body can go down because all the organs, looks like all the organs misplaced. Now, it's approaching the 2-hour mark. I called the Coast Guard. They said they're coming. Every time they're coming. And from where the Pomeroon River mouth, the Coast Guard base is just 25 minutes from here. Now I have 3 boats within a half-mile vicinity. Got to stay next to these bodies because we don't want the bodies to drift and go elsewhere. Next thing you know, you can't recover the bodies. We had one of my friends with one of our boats. I supplied the gasoline, etc., who's part of the search and recovery team. And can you believe they arrested him? They arrested that man. I just got the information. Now, if you want to arrest persons that want to help to recover these bodies, that alone speaks volume. I'm trying to abide by all the rules they set out. But this is unfair to have us 2 hours waiting for the Coast Guard to collect these bodies. They have about 5 Coast Guard boats where the MV Barima went down. I don't know why they got all these boats out there for. What is the purpose having all these boats out there with some divers? The chief of staff is a charity with the president. I expect the chief of staff to come out here and to coordinate things so we can recover these bodies, because the families are mourning. The families are calling me all the time. They're messaging. They want to know what's going on with the bodies. Where are the bodies? Now they have planes flying around. These planes can't see nothing, absolutely nothing. We need the Coast Guard boats to come out here so that we can retrieve all these bodies, because night is stepping in. In a couple of hours, the place will get dark. All the bodies are floating up presently. And the 2-year-old baby girl is still out there. I posted the Believe jersey so that the parents or family members can identify, can know that the body is here. So I'm calling on the Coast Guard, I'm calling on the Chief of Staff to get boats out here. I have everything to retrieve the bodies. Necessary health and safety requirement. We have the body bags, we have gloves, we have masks, but they don't want me to collect their bodies to carry to charity. They don't want me to do that. But I understand. I will follow all rules, but you can't have us out here 2 hours. 2 hours we're out here. We could have been searching and recovering more bodies. So I'm calling on the Chief of Staff to please put systems in place so that we can retrieve maximum amount of bodies, so that the families can be relief, bring some sort of relief to them. They are already punishing. They're grieving.
Yeah. That is a gist of what's happening out there in Guyana. Of course, they've called a 3 days of mourning, today, tomorrow, and Friday, for this tragedy that is coming on the heels of what happened in Venezuela the other day. It's not strange that these two nations would have this type of tragedy one after the other. You know, it's just so sad what happened out there. You know what I mean? And there are reports that the boat is a 90-year-old boat, and they were having problems with it, and people ignored it.
Imagine that.
Jeez.
Imagine that, you know.
It was kind of depressing reading that story.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that clearly, whatever the boat was, the amount of people they were supposed to have, the boat was certainly seemed to have been seriously overloaded.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and apparently they put extra cars on the boat, not just people. They had overloaded the boat with cars. They said that the water line. There's another video with that same gentleman, Mr. Mohammed, telling you about where the water line was showing in the boat, and the boat was clearly overloaded. The pilot and the co-pilot were drunk.
Yeah, and that is the thing. You see, when that is probably not a first time occurrence when these things happen.
No, not at all.
So we are accustomed doing things. And it reaches a point where it just goes haywire, and this is the kind of outcome that you get from it.
Yeah,
you ignore all the safety procedures and cautions that you are supposed to be following. You know, because when they carry two extra car, two extra truck, whatever the case, and so a few extra people, and you make some extra money. But look at what could happen when something goes wrong.
Yeah, because you tell yourself you're doing it all the time and you're getting away with it, so let me keep doing it. You understand?
And that is a basic mentality. Man, we just do that all the time, nothing will happen.
Yeah.
Morning,
Richard.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Wendell and Sir Charles. Good morning to our listeners and viewers, wherever you are, in whatever time zone. I don't know that the captain and the whoever is right hand were drunk. They said they had narcotics in them.
Well, sometimes that's the way of saying alcohol, I guess. Is it
No,
narcotics in terms of other thing outside of alcohol?
Well, I assume so. They wouldn't have said narcotics if it was alcohol.
True.
Yeah, I think they identified marijuana or something like that.
marijuana.
Yeah, I think that
They were arrested.
Yes, they were arrested.
Yeah.
All right, I didn't get the word narcotics in the release, but maybe I'm sure you're right.
That's a tragic situation.
Very
That's one of those things where you're in charge of people's lives, and how seriously you take that.
Yeah. Mrs. Harris said they said they tested for cannabis, so I guess that's marijuana. Yeah. Marijuana, anyway. Maybe there's a standard drug test, I guess. Maybe they are accustomed smoking marijuana and didn't have a problem, because plenty of people smoke marijuana and don't have an issue. You know what I mean?
But both people, don't they usually test you?
Well, I guess in the midst of a tragedy like that, they would, but maybe not generally. They're probably not testing them.
Yeah, don't they have like spot drug tests? Because when you're manning things like that, where you are in charge of people's lives, literally, they sometimes do those kinds of checks.
Yeah, something. Pass me there. Yeah, but it's second, of course, to the Jonestown massacre. Jonestown was what, 1978, I think. 900 odd people drank Kool-Aid and died in Guyana. I don't think they've had a tragedy of this magnitude since. And as I said, it follows on the heels of what happened just the other day in Venezuela.
Yeah, and just yesterday, I was actually kind of pulling up at that situation on Venezuela, because when the cameras leave and the attention shift, people tend to forget, but Venezuela still needs a lot of help. They'll be in that way for a long while. The death toll is now over 5,000. We still have hundreds of, tens of thousands, as they say, still missing. And they say that life will be that way for a while before they get back to any semblance of normalcy in Venezuela, because still trying to recover people.
Bodies.
Yeah. And that is basically what they're pulling up right now.
But there are some bodies they probably never recover in that tragedy in Guyana there and in Venezuela. There are bodies that they'll probably never recover. Anyway, let's do good news now, and then we could greet some folks in the chat before we get in. We have Marvin Gonzales as our guest in the second hour. You don't want to miss that. You know what I mean? And of course, we have a very interesting poll for you all today.
All right, let's go to our good news.
The tongue is so powerful. Speak good over your life at all times. You can't talk struggle every day and expect blessings to pull up. You can't keep saying you're broke, you're tired, or that nothing works for you and think that your life is going to level up. Words are seeds. What you speak is what grows. Start talking like the version of you you're trying to become. Say you're favored, say you're aligned, say you're blessed, even before it shows up. And watch how your life changes when your mouth stops working against your future. Stop cursing your own path. The universe listens to every single syllable that leaves your lips. If you constantly broadcast defeat, you will automatically manifest a miserable reality. The broken system wants you complaining. They need you vibrating at a very low frequency. True rebellion starts in your mind and explodes straight through your voice. Stop acting like a weak victim. Stop accepting daily defeat. Claim your power, your ultimate victory into existence, and watch the matrix shatter.
There's another side to people who do those kind of inspirational speaking, right? That maybe one of these days we could discuss, because there are certain people who listen to that and follow that, and it puts them in a world that's not realistic, So it prevents them from facing their reality and fixing it, changing it around. You know that, right? Because they go by what people like that say. You understand? They don't face realities. We'll talk about that one another day. But let's greet the folks in the chat. Kenny in Harlem came in at 11:59. That's Kenny George. Robert Allen, happy hump day. Margaret Thomas says good morning. So does Odell Guy. Pamela O'Connor, Apollonus. Trinman, don't stump your toe while jumping. What is that about? Ava Smith, bless rising. Robert Taylor also says good morning. He's on his way to Miami. 6 hours drive. Is it that long for you, Robert, from where you are? No, man, it can't be 6 hours. Manuela Peters, good morning to everyone, because from Miami to Orlando is 3 to 4 hours. Is it that you're further than Orlando? Marcia Rock, good morning. Diane Payne says good morning. Eunice Dublin, Marlene Saunders, Sober, Sis Super, Empress Reyes Lal. It's hump day, y'all. Brenda Joseph, good morning, everyone. This is Brenda from Penal. Happy birthday to me. All right, so happy birthday, Brenda. We met Brenda.
Marlon Motley. How you jump over Marlon Motley, so?
His name is not here on my chat, on my thing.
Look, it's right there.
Oh, yes, it is there. My apologies. Oh, it's coming after Brenda. That's why.
But that have to do with anything. Everybody comes after somebody.
No, I'm saying I was still reading Brenda's greeting. Brenda has 2 greetings. One before Marlon Motley and one after.
Don't try to justify making no sense, please.
No,
let's continue.
You know something, Sir Charles? You know I had to take a picture frame, right?
Let's continue now.
No, I'm taking a picture of what is on my screen. You ever catch me today? You're a lawyer, and I'm afraid of the law. I am real afraid of the lawyers now. So Brenda is saying happy birthday to herself. She's celebrating her birthday today, and she's on her way to the Hyatt for her second prize breakfast. All right,
hey,
remember that?
Happy birthday, Brenda. Have a good one.
Happy birthday, Brenda. And of course, Marlon Motley from North Dalsine says good morning.
Good morning, Marlon, since obviously you're waiting on me.
Debbie Modest, Merle McCormy, Anthony Miguel says good morning. Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona. Boy Bidesi, Carol Guevara.
Did you say Merle McCormy?
Yes. What is wrong with him this morning?
You jumped from Anthony Miguel to Ingrid from Tucson, and you left out Merle McCormy.
Because Merle McCormy her name came up before Anthony Miguel. Again, let me do this picture.
No, it came after Anthony Miguel. This is Anthony Miguel.
Yes. Lord Father. So Charles, this is hard work today.
I had to pull up the 2 men in the balcony for you.
I'm sending it for him again. Merle McCormy greeting came in before and after Anthony Miguel. Right. Where we reach?
Ingrid.
Right. Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona. Boy Bidesi, Carol Guevara. I call all these names already, you know. Scorpion Pepper, Stephanie Santana, Victor Philip. So Charles, you see when he doing it, what is going on?
Yeah. Hi, Auntie Stephanie.
Yeah. Scorpion Pepper is asking a question here. The SOE Tribunal orders someone to be released from detention, and the Minister of Homeland Security is refusing. Is he refusing? I thought it was the court said. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe a question valid, but I'm not sure if he was the one who refused. Suzanne Jessup, good morning, Suzanne.
Victor Philip. Good morning to Victor Philip.
Good morning. Good morning, Victor Philip. You're right about that one.
Yeah, I'll take no picture for that
one. No, I gotta take no picture for that. Suzanne Jessup is also saying, don't forget 30 bird tickets. Empress Reyes Lal, back all these people singing. Yvette Scipio, Susie B, Anne Noel, Susie B again. You see, some people, greetings are coming twice. That's what's happening. Deborah Noel Serep, good morning. Richard Wendell and Sir Charles. Joyce Philip Sankofa said, oh Lord, exercise our land, exorcise our land, and return our region, our world to a zone of peace. Alistair Hart says, good morning, guys. Great song. Sir Charles. Sherma Paul Sankofa say Wendell only early because he ain't getting no opportunities that come with lovely rain. It's sunny today, no Sankofa. And I don't need rain for that, Sankofa. Trust me. Margot Batiste, Nadia Stephen, Sankofa is asking if there where in Labor Day was there a riot. You know, Sankofa and folks, I read that story and I'm saying, what madness am I reading here? They charge Alyssa and her mother for rioting on Labor Day. That's one of the charges, you know. Of course, you know, the other one will be resisting arrest. And of course, disorderly behavior or something like that. But rioting? Anyway. Condolences from Empress Rose Lal, Stellar Services. Good morning, guys. Michael Robinson, that's Manish from Yokohama, Japan. Madness, why stop people from helping? Alyssa Hart. James Purcell, morning, James. Everyone have a blessed day ahead. James, West Indies win last night, boy. That SHITTONG helped Miami make runs. Tony Fraser sent me an early morning message about my boy. He is still a SHITTONG, Tony Fraser. Sorry. He just lucky last night. Cheryl Maraj, good morning. Apollonius, that's so sad. Prabha Ramdial, morning. All have a great day. I think condolences are in order for you, Prabha. I think I saw you post on social media a death of someone. Empress Rare, same thing they did with the pipeline guys. Sherwin and Julia Kerr, long time no hear from. Let me get some new people. Julia Samantha, Mrs. R says good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. R. Good morning, Julia Samantha.
Melchizedek, Garvin Frank, Hillbench says good morning. And you all are sounding very clear. Rena Budu Jennings, there were a lot of people on the boat whose names were not on the manifest. Yeah, we heard that yesterday. Let me get some new folks here. Wayne Ramsey, good morning. Valerie Mendoza, Charmaine Bernard, Philomena Ali, Dwayne Sylvester, Ron DeSantis Jr., Carl M. Jack, Bernadette Late, Bernadette and Alicia Yates, Lincoln Foxtrot. Hey, Lincoln, you're on the chat today, man. Diana Hamill, man is saying you funny. Brenda Joseph, Richard, at least you could say happy birthday to me before complaining. Brenda, the one you stop me and say I miss out somebody in the middle of me greeting the lady.
Okay. Happy birthday, Brenda.
What up the window now?
Kim Govaya, pleasant good morning. CJ from New York. Morning, CJ. Where are you off to now?
He just wants silent yes.
Huh? Oh, you were trying to make a point. You were waiting for me to catch up.
Look, Victor Philip thanking you for pointing him out. But you wouldn't tell Brenda happy birthday. Huh?
I just did.
Debbie Michelle says good morning, guys. Doreen Pierre. Lincoln, isn't it? Well, Lincoln, you have to know Michael O'Killism. I say it as HITTONG. That's how I type it, right? But I know what you mean. You're correct with that word, but I use SHITTONG. Chris Tussell says, morning, gentlemen. My son is leaving on deployment to the Middle East today. Oh, boy.
What?
Wow. Mm-hmm. And Margarita Chow says,
to say condolences for that. I mean, because that's kind of like sad.
Yeah, I would imagine how Chris and his wife feeling, you know. But that's what happens when these people want to serve, because I have a lot of people just want to serve, you know, want to do what's best for the country. Yeah, you know. Anyway,
some people get the calling too, you know. God spoke to them.
You said it. You hit the nail on the head there.
Really? Did I hit some nail on some proverbial head? Really?
Anyway, modern beauty culture and all the others who will join us during our news break. All right?
All right. So good morning to Mr. Augustine on the WhatsApp. Also Archbishop Ashton Clark. Thank you very much for your prayer this morning, Archbishop. CJ is up very early out there in New York. Zena, good morning to you on the Powder Puff Ladies. Captain Ron in Orlando. Kent in Laventel. of course, well, Brenda is also here on the chat. Good day to you. Miss Sampson, happy hump day. Peter Wilson, good morning in St. James. Rena Bodo Jennings on in Pretty Valley. Mr. Billy is out there in Powder Magazine. Frank is in Arouca. So let's spread all over the place this morning. Thank you very much for being with us on the Breakfast Show. 24 minutes before the hour of 7 o'clock. I'll take a short break and come back, and then we'll see what's happening in the newspapers and all the other things going up to 7 o'clock.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Flavor Entertainment Services, your one-stop premium entertainment service provider. We offer top-tier, best-in-class karaoke and DJ services for your private events, sports bars and lounge. Let us help make your birthday parties, weddings, anniversaries, and corporate special events memorable and special. Call us now at 462-2029. We provide more than just music. We create memories that last.
All aboard!
Calling all you NETT Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your crews. Join us on NETT Radio Halloween Cooler Crew in red, white, and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August, boarding at 7 p.m. from Hardcuts, Shagaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. Enjoy great music all night long from your favorite NETT DJs, Sir Charles, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
Tell you you's a big dancer. Come show
Early bird tickets are just $200 after $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumbox, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Kure, Pats International in Arima, K Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall, and Eastgate Small, and all NETT DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your coolers, bring your crews, and let's celebrate together. NETT Radio, Halloween Cooler Crew, Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Halloween on the sea.
All right, let me just greet some other people. Kurt Hope from Nashville, Tennessee, and Maria Silly, and of course Amjad Ali, who said he has observed that the Ministry of Infrastructure putting up keep left except when overtaking signs on the highway. So he will be talking about from down in the west, but they have put up some on the east-west corridor also. But of course, it's being put up on the left side of the highway, which is not where the problem is. The problem is on the right side, because trust me, this morning again, you're on the road 4 o'clock, nobody on the road, and you're in the right lane. For what? You know what I mean? You're not moving off the right lane, and you're not even driving close to the speed limit, but you're just in the right lane going down the road. Merrily, do. So they need to try to find a way to put signs in the median, in the middle, or paint it on the ground, big, for people to see. Go, keep left except when overtaken.
You need
Get
to
out of this.
You need to take some ashwagandha.
I take all kind of thing. It ain't helping.
Well, you're taking ashwagandha.
I do.
Grumbling old man.
I do take ashwagandha.
Your people Wednesday morning on the screen. Grumbly. Quiet too.
You know, people, let's do a poll. Who more grumble? Who is more of a grumbly old man? Between me and Richard. No, let me answer Charles too, because I don't know why I feel Sir Charles.
Leave me
I
out
don't know
of
why I feel Sir Charles going to take over the Tory.
Leave me out of that. I'm sorry, I don't know. I can't find the two.
Anyway, let's get to today's Express. Today is Wednesday, July 22nd. And the main headline in today's Express reads, Hadiths must stay in jail. Where we know that? 3 grounds of appeal filed before Privy Council. So it's there before the Privy Council now, people. It's a lot of articles, so I can't read all, but
apparently, you know what's interesting, Mandel, that I was reading that I did not know, that the State of Emergency Tribunal had met and had indicated that Dominic Hadid should be released, that his detention was not in the public interest.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's a recommendation. They can't make an order. They can only make a recommendation. And the Homeland Security Minister asked them to review it because it wasn't a final decision, asked them to review it. So that's part of what's been filed. That came out on July 19th. And they still to make a decision or a recommendation, I can't say a decision, a recommendation with regard to Genevieve Hadid and Star Sapga. So isn't that interesting?
That is very interesting. Who comprises this tribunal?
I'm not so sure who's there, so the tribunal. I just saw that as I was searching for the Guardian headlines. I saw that as one of the news items that came up before I actually clicked into the main page. And I was like, I didn't know this.
Well, it's here in the Express too. SOE Tribunal recommends release, but state wants review. It says the State of Emergency Tribunal has recommended that businessman Dominic Hadid and his wife, Genevieve, be released. However, the state has disclosed that it requested the tribunal to review this decision. Attorneys representing Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander have called on the State of Emergency Review Tribunal to immediately recall its recommendations concerning the detention of Dominic Hadid, Genevieve Hadid, and their relative Star Sapga, alleging that the proceedings were conducted entirely on an ex parte basis and deprived the minister of his fundamental right to be heard. Trinidad.
Yeah, think about the good news.
Found in old headquarters, there's a picture of Kara Roopsing as she displays a handy talkie HT220 unit. It's like an old walkie-talkie. That's the picture on the front page as they mark the 36th anniversary of the Jamaat al-Muslimin power grab. Guyana declares 3 days of mourning. That's also news on the front page. Inside Stories, Ali declares 3 days of mourning. Penny offers condolences. Carl and pilots mourn victims. State goes to Privy Council. They haven't gotten a date as yet, though. State attorneys lay out grounds of appeal. SOE Tribunal recommends release, but state wants review. Detention orders for woman and 2 men. That's an interesting story, too. But what is more interesting is Alyssa and Mom plead not guilty to charges of taking part in a riot, disorderly behavior, and resisting arrest. Those are the 3 charges. Taking part in a riot, disorderly behavior, and resisting arrest. Astute. Intruder killed suspect nabbed. That's after a home invasion in a gated community in St. Joseph, Farm Road, St. Joseph. No. That's where one of the victims from. In Kuwait, all right? Man gunned down outside supermarket. Yes, the murders are continuing. But the Prime Minister has miraculously said murders are decreasing under the UNC. You all can read that all yourself. All right? Government denies hidden AI project. And in the back, 800 more coming. That's prison officers. So says Minister of Homeland Security, Roger Alexander, that 800 more people, citizens will be hired to become prison officers. Mayor promises market upgrade, and that's the mayor of Chaguanas. Missing man found dead in a repo. Gunmen rob stranded vendors. That is a strange story because one of the vendors had a backpack containing $20,000. and they pulled over on the highway because the vehicle was overheating, and gunmen showed up. And guess what kind of car, Richard? Sir Charles. I'll give all you 3 guesses.
A Tida.
A Tida. A Tida.
Exactly, a Tida. Those are some of the stories trending in today's Express.
Now, is it coincidence that they just pull aside or they knew that you had that money?
So, Charles, your guess is as good as mine.
It wasn't coincidental that they pulled aside. They pulled aside because the engine was overheating.
No. I'm talking about you pull aside because, I mean, people have gone through that kind of thing. You know, sometimes they can have flat tire. You pull aside, and as you pull aside, somebody come and rob you and that sort of thing. So I'm wondering if it's just like that kind of coincidence, or somebody say, them fellas have money.
Well, it's not just the Tida that pull up, you know. Men, the Tida pull up and men come out the bush too, you know. So like men, that story missing so many parts. Because they pull up right away and men hiding in the bush.
What part of Trinidad that is?
Yes. Let me
That's
find
something very St. James-ish.
No, that ain't St. James. Don't try that. That's not St. James. Let me find the story for you.
Yeah,
right?
because I mean, just the other day there was a situation. A man and his girlfriend was leaving Port of Spain, coming across the lady. He just pull aside to pee, and some men would come down the hill and move for rubber.
Yes, I saw that one.
It's like you can't stop at all no way in Trinidad.
No, like I lost the story now. Just now. Hold on. Right, here it is. 3 market vendors were ambushed by gunmen after their vehicles stalled along the Solomon Hochoy Highway near Gasparillo on Sunday evening. The vendors were in a white Mitsubishi panel van when the vehicle began overheating at around 7:15 p.m. Police said the driver stopped on the emergency shoulder and the men exited the vehicle. However, shortly after, a Tida pulled up and 2 men dressed in dark-colored clothing and ski masks exited. They were joined by 2 maskmen who came out some bushes nearby. The vendors were forced to hand over cash and cell phones. The gunmen escaped with $6,400 and 3 cell phones from the men, along with a pink backpack, containing $20,000 and personal documents belonging to the 44-year-old driver. They set up the driver?
My gosh, that is something else.
Never a dull day.
Like, I wonder if between the bandits in the bush and the bandits in the car had something.
That has a lot of questions there. Because how would you know, hiding in the bush, that he would pull aside at that exact point and that the engine would overheat at that exact point? That's weird.
That driver had to be careful of them, man. Them is friend to watch. Them is people to watch, as Dr. Rory used to say.
Yeah, you gotta watch your friends.
Them is people to watch.
All of a sudden, the van overheat, pull aside on the highway, by the bush, with 2 men in the bush, and then a car come to. That's
a weird, story. But anyway, let me go through the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian quickly because I know we need to get to our Did You Know? The Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for this morning. SOE Tribunal recommends Dominic Hadid's release from jail, says detention not in public's interest, but minister asks for review of process. PM says SOE delivering results as murders fall. TTNNA threatens legal action over NCRHA's 4-hour shifts. Woman placed on PDO over alleged rideshare robbery ring. And ACP Smith, community partnerships key to tackling home invasions. In business news, TNT Stock Exchange investor confidence is returning, maximizing value from data. Well, this is an old story. The business of football. Okay, all of these are kind of old stories. And hard work beats talent. This is in sport. Janaz Jenny. TNT Under-19s defeated Leewards while Barbados stays unbeaten. Sir Garfield St. Aubran Sobers, a great West Indian legend, and the World Cup left us with more than memories. So that's it for the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian this morning. Give you a sense of what's going on, and we'll move straight into our Did You Know?
Birth is given by orders. Your name is given by orders. Your income is given by orders. Your respect is given by orders. Even your first and last bath will be given by orders. After death, your properties, your clothes, your shoes, your bags, your jewelry, your precious belongings, and even your most loved possessions will be all taken and shared by orders. Your funeral will be arranged by orders. Your final prayer will be said by orders. The grave will be dug by orders, and the tears that fall will come from orders. In the end, everything you once called yours actually belongs to the people around you. Still, you fight, you argue, and carry on with unnecessary ego, pride, and hatred throughout your short time on earth. You waste your energy trying to prove that you are better, richer, or more powerful than others, forgetting that life itself is temporary and that nothing truly belongs to you. So learn to live humbly, to love deeply, and to forgive deeply. Make peace with others and yourself. Life is too short to carry anger, jealousy, or ego. Live positively, love generously.
Okay, you all there?
I think there was a little extension on the Did You Know, so it wasn't clear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
and give it away before you die. Say it up. Say exactly who need to get what before you don't leave anything to chance. And you're never too young to do a will. Okay? Let's remember that. Don't leave people to fight over it, the others to fight over it, right?
Anything you have, divide it up and give it away one time.
Yeah. Children, grandchildren, friends, family, whoever you want to give.
Well, at least until man conquers death, then you would have, because you might be 1,000 years old and still need your stuff. Do you know?
You 1,000 years old, Richard.
And do you know that longevity? If you're talking about longevity, that there is a shark in just another. Did you know, Sir Charles? Did you know there's something called a Greenland shark, and it lives, of course, in the icy waters naturally if you're in Greenland. But it can live up to 500 years old. Isn't that crazy? 500 years. So some of those sharks are around since, I don't know, forever. 500 years. Think of the planet back 500 years ago. That shark see plenty. So they are living creatures that can live.
Eat plenty too. You know how much humans he must eat?
No, but isn't it? And it's considered the longest living vertebrate on Earth, with scientific estimates suggesting they can live for 300 to 500 years. They're called deep sea giants. They live in the freezing waters of the Arctic and North Atlantic. They grow at a glacial pace of about 1 centimeter per year, taking up to 150 years just to reach sexual maturity.
What?
Well, as you say that, you know, sharks are known as bottom feeders, so feeding off bottoms is not a bad thing.
I don't know how you reach there, but you know, older people's brains have strange navigations in terms of their logic. So I will just go with that.
Well, totally misrepresenting by bottom.
Is that what they call sharks?
Totally misrepresenting what is a bottom.
I don't understand that. But we have a problem with bottom feeders, apparently. But
Only that's good set me up with somebody. They go, let us say it.
You use the word scavengers, even if I'm not gotten where he wanted to go.
You see why homeless people live so long too? Scavenging out of garbage bags, I think, and them stray dogs and stray cats. But you know wrong by me in St. James, they have stray chickens. I have done a video with not dogs as we gripping up the garbage or cats or humans, it's chickens. It has some people in St. James have chickens as go around the neighborhood scattering garbage.
And you don't want to talk about other places being rural. But but those sharks, just on that longevity issue, are being examined to understand why. Because there's there's billions and billions of dollars into extending human life. And some scientists think you can extend it indefinitely.
Instead of they spend that money for you to enjoy life while you're here.
And they're saying that we need to be able to extend it indefinitely if you want to do things like explore deep space and all that. So we'll see where it all goes.
Anyway, folks, don't forget our guest in the next hour is Marvin Gonzales, but we have an interesting poll for you this morning. Maybe we could take some calls and then Sir Charles would put up the
poll. We already saw the poll, because Sir Charles with his itchy fingers bring it up already.
Where you going?
It was up for a good few seconds. Yeah, everybody see it already. Only you went down.
I'm actually now looking at the delayed thing on Gayelle, and I just saw it.
I don't know. He gave the word bottom feeder and he went straight to the pole. I don't know what he's trying to connect. And we were talking bottom feeding, and I see the pole come up, and I say, "What's your child trying to suggest?" My mind, but
look at you. That's very clever of you.
Let's see before we get into the morning.
Don't watch them slide.
Good morning to you.
Charles, hi. Good morning.
Morning,
Wendell and Richard. Oh God, all this morning scandal, so it's not Friday. Lord, and here now Richard talking about that is Wendell. So Charles, you really saw when I laugh out.
Yes.
I sent the laughing emojis for you. And Richard very well know that title fall to him, That's the old man thing.
Wait, you trying to push me into that corner?
Yes.
Me?
And I love Bacchanals too. You hear the one I tell you where I met Lee.
You must make it Bacchanal on Pigeon Point so that people recognize your voice. You want to talk about me?
You start a whole play on it where she see me. You know that I was on Pigeon Point. And I can get on. And here now, you're real scandalous, No wonder you could make a play like Bacchanal where we need scandal in Cedros. Oh my Jesus, man. Morning, everybody. I'll come back in later.
Thanks very much, Zena. Good morning, Ms. Sampson. Hello.
Good morning, Charles, Richard, and Wendell.
Morning, Ms. Sampson.
Why the price in the food is that important to the PM? The little ordinary saltfish that used to sell for $20 or $21 is now $67. And they're only focusing on measuring the debt with Dr. Rowley and them. Focus on the price of food. Everything is 1,000% more since they're getting power. You all have a good day.
All right.
Mr. Sampson, you're going to win that prize, right?
For the most depressing sounding caller. If we had a prize, she definitely get that.
Oh God. 281-1315-299-5156. Right? That's a good for this.
Mr. Sampson, do you drink coffee? You should try coffee, on a morning.
To try ashwagandha. So there's our morning poll. Should Balisier House be seized?
When do you have to get it back up?
No, let Richard read it. Let Richard read it.
Can we go back up there?
If the PNM are unable to explain the source of its funding, that's the poll this morning. Should Balisier House be seized? If the PNM are unable to explain the source of its funding, if you agree it should be seized, you're voting 1. You're typing 1. If you think, nah, they shouldn't seize it, you're typing 2. If you think they should seize it, type 1. If you think they shouldn't seize it, type 2.
MC Foster calling when they want it.
No, well, we'll be talking to the chairman, we're talking to the highest official, the second highest official in the PNM next hour.
Well, I have to rephrase my statement. I don't know if it was bottom feeding or if it was longevity that fueled Sir Charles to click Balisier House. The Balisier House poll.
I connected bottom feeding to poll. I don't know. I thought that's what you meant.
For the edification of all of the listeners who are dying to know, could you explain how bottom feeding connects to poll? Thanks.
You connected it, not me?
No, I connected it to Balisier House and the PNM. That's where I thought Sir Charles went.
Anyway, folks, our poll is up. Let me read it properly this time. Should Balisier House be seized if the PNM are unable to explain the source of its funding? Yes or no? Come, you all the UNC people, get in the poll this morning, man.
Oh, you're trying that approach.
All right, so we're going for the news at 7 o'clock. At 7 o'clock this morning. And of course, when we come back, we will tell you how you voted. And of course, on the other side of 7 o'clock, around 7:30, who we talking about, Wendell?
Marvin Gonzales, MP for Arouca Lopinot, Chairman of the People's National Movement and Chief Whip in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. He will be our guest.
You get salary for all them things?
No, well, he gets salary as a opposition MP. Oh. The other positions are not salaried.
Wow. All right. We're coming back.
You don't got a salary for chairman?
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is NETT Radio News Now.
This is News Now on NETT Radio and Gayelle TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. The Ministry of Public Administration and Artificial Intelligence has clarified that a Tier 4 data center project was initiated under the former PNM administration to provide secure government data storage and digital services, not to develop a secret AI data center. The ministry said reports linking the Tier 4 project to the government's proposed artificial intelligence facilities were patently false and based on a misunderstanding of the project's purpose. It explained that the Tier 4 classification refers only to the reliability and resilience of the facility, while the AI projects under Memoranda of Understanding with Ernst & Young LLP and Hummingbird AI Holdings are separate commercial high-performance computing facilities with different technical and investment models. The ministry also stated that, despite procurement activity, the Tier 4 project has not yet been fully operationalized, and reaffirmed its commitment to transparency and responsible digital infrastructure development. Activist Alyssa Phillip and her mother, Camille Carrasquero, have pleaded not guilty to charges arising from their arrests during the Labor Day March on June 19th. Phillip appeared before Senior Magistrate Erica Baptiste Ramkissoon at the Superior Magistrates Court and denied charges of taking part in a riot, disorderly behavior, and resisting arrest. Carrasquero also denied charges of taking part in a riot, obstructing police in the execution of their duties, and resisting arrest. The case was adjourned to October 20th. Attorney Fayola Sandy is representing both women. Phillip and Carrasquero are also facing separate proceedings related to another protest near the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions in May, involving allegations of disorderly behavior and breaches of the emergency powers regulations. That matter is scheduled to resume on September 29th. MP for Trinity Maloney, Camille Robinson Regis has rejected allegations of mismanagement and corruption made by Philip Alexander, Following his visit to the constituency, Alexander claimed the Maloney Mall was largely vacant, with only 2 barely open restaurants, deteriorating infrastructure, and gang-related problems affecting several buildings. He also alleged contract corruption linked to PNM ministers and said the Housing Development Corporation Board may investigate the matter. In response, Robinson Regis accused the current administration of allowing PNM communities to deteriorate out of political spite. She said several projects in Trinity and Maloney, including HDC repairs, the redevelopment of the Maloney HDC Mall, and the opening of a new community center, had stalled since May 2025. She also complained of neglected grass cutting, deteriorating public facilities, and irregular garbage collection, which she said had led to increased vermin problems in the constituency. Justice Frank C. Prasad has dismissed a judicial review claim by Ultimate Supplements Limited and Che Howell Enterprises Limited against the Comptroller of Customs and Excise, ruling that Customs acted lawfully in questioning the value of imported health and nutritional products. The companies had claimed Customs unlawfully rejected their declared values, imposed deposits before releasing goods, and delayed clearance. However, the judge found Customs had sufficient grounds to investigate, citing missing documents, major price discrepancies, and concerns from trade data, including one case where identical products showed an almost 300% difference in price. Justice C. Prasad also rejected corruption allegations against named customs officers, saying serious accusations must be supported by evidence, not suspicion or innuendo. Trinidad and Tobago has deployed air and naval support to assist Guyana's rescue and recovery efforts after the MV Barima capsized. Defense Minister Wayne Sturge said, "A C-26 aircraft and a Damon vessel, carrying a crew of 27, including 7 divers, left Trinidad on Sunday night to aid search operations. The ferry, carrying an estimated 179 people from Georgetown to Port Kaituma, capsized after reportedly being struck by a large wave. 67 people were rescued, but dozens remain missing and are feared dead, including several children. Guyana's President Irfan Ali has announced an independent investigation into the tragedy, while Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesar pledged Trinidad and Tobago's support to the rescue mission. Finally, a 65-year-old man has recounted the terrifying moment a bison attacked him in Yellowstone National Park, saying the animal appeared to single him out as its target. Carl Isom McDaniel was taking a photograph with his grandson on July 10th when the bison suddenly charged and launched him into the air. Speaking from his hospital bed, he said the animal just kept coming and became increasingly aggressive. Isom McDaniel suffered a shattered hip, with doctors confirming multiple fractures that required surgery. The National Park Service says bison injure more people in Yellowstone than any other animal and advises visitors to stay at least 25 yards away at all times. And that is Net Radio News at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Morning vibes, fresh energy. This is the Net Radio Breakfast Show.
Hey, get down. I see her and I want her. I got to have her. Hey. Barang so nice and barang so sweet. Wind up your waist and dance to the beat. Inside the barang, I don't wanna sorry, Lord Ginger beer. I ain't drinking them thing this year. This Christmas all I want is a Spanish woman from Paramis, Digo Martin, in a rematch, Donna Puna, from Lopinot and Los Bajos, Don Maracas, Rampanadas. I see her and I want her. I got to have her. Yeah. Get there. Give me. I try all them other woman before. All other woman. But them Spanish mujer is all I adore. Them Spanish woman. I like to see them when they walk and whine. The full love and tenderness is so fine. You know how to cut and how to contrive to keep their family alive. So this year I want to take home a Spanish woman from Arouca, from Cumana, from Blanchichet. Bring them in here. From Aripo, Sangre Chiquito, Spanish Royal, Coco Payan. I see her and I want her. I got to have her.
Hey, Barney, is that woman going there, boy?
Wee boy.
Look, she going there, boy. And for your interest, she is Spanish.
You lie.
Para casarme,
a toca soca parranca, para mover la piel. From Paramis, Digo Martin, in a rima, Donna Puna, from Blanchichet, bring them in pairs. Spanish Royal, Coco Payan. Lord, give me.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Oh yeah, that's nice.
Just got better. You're locked into NETT Radio Breakfast Show. Fueling your day with the best music.
That's nice. Oh yeah, that's nice.
Oh yeah, that nice. That real nice. Christmas in July. Kind of winding up that session right about now, yeah. Hey, good morning to everybody, and of course, those of you on your way to work, good, yeah. Hope that you're having a fun time with us heading there, that you will get there safely. Those of you who are hanging out at home, you know, it's your rest and relax day. Maybe you're retired and just taking it easy. I'll be happy to be here with you. Of course, this is the Breakfast Show. Remember, the Breakfast Show comes your way Monday to Friday. We're here on NETT Radio. And of course, you get us on Gayelle TV. 6 to 9 a.m. Wendell Stephen, Richard Rakubara saying, yours truly, Sir Charles. Good morning to all our early risers, and thank you very much for being here. We're in the middle of the week here. We're not sure if you're coming or going at this point in time, but we are here with you. So keep listening, and of course, remember when we come off of the feeds, you can come across to netradiott.com. That's NETT Radio TT.com. So you can listen to our programming all throughout the day and every day. Even into the weekend, we are here. We stream all day and every day. Remember, you can also go out and support our platforms, whether it is YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or even our WhatsApp channel. It's NETT Radio Trinidad. Put that in your search engine and you will find us, all right? Also, your streaming devices, wherever you're listening to us on, whether it be on our website or whether you choose one of the other platforms like Radio Garden, MyTuner, Online Radio Box, Simple Radio, and of course Tune In. NETT Radio Trinidad, that is all you have to look for. Tell your smart devices to play NETT Radio Trinidad, or as Richard has discovered, Alexa, play NETT Radio Trinidad. Yeah, that's the command that you give it, right? Also, don't forget to donate to support our channel and keep us up and running. Really appreciate your help so far. Thank you so much, everybody. And of course, our morning poll today, should Balisier House be seized? The PNM is unable to explain the source of its funding. If you're saying yes, you're voting 1. If you're saying no, voting 2. When we come back, we'll tell you how you voted. Also, don't forget, coming up at around 7:30 this morning inside our Let's Talk segment, we will be talking with MP for Arouca, Lopinot, and of course the PNM's chairman, Marvin Gonzales. Trust me, that should be good conversation. I'm actually looking forward to it. Yeah. So stay with us, and of course, people, don't forget, August the 15th, we're getting ready to go cruising on board the Island Royalty. We have our Color Week Cooler cruise that is coming up. We want you to support the cruise. You can either come on, buy your tickets now, the early bird tickets, buy your tickets, come on board. Or if you're not cruising, guess what? You can just support the cruise and support the channel, right? By purchasing 1 or 2 tickets. Of course, if you want, you can purchase more, but that is all right. Just purchase and support, all right? That's what we ask of you, and that way you support the channel and keep the breakfast show up and running. Yeah, that's nice.
All aboard! Calling all you NETT Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your crews. Join us on NETT Radio, Color Week, Cooler Crew in red, white, and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August, boarding at 7 p.m. from Hardcuts, Shagaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. Enjoy great music all night long from your favorite NETT DJs, Sir Charles, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
Tell you you's a big dancer. Come show
Early bird tickets are just $200. After $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumba, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Crep, Pats International in Arima, K Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall, and Eastgate Small, and all NETT DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your coolers, bring your crews, and let's celebrate together. NETT Radio, Color Week, Cooler Crew. Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Color Week, on the sea. Flavor Entertainment Services, your one-stop premium entertainment service provider. We offer top-tier, best-in-class karaoke and DJ services for your private events, sports bars, and lounge. Let us help make your birthday parties, weddings, anniversaries, and corporate special events memorable and special. Call us now at 462-2029. We provide more than just music. We create memories that last.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Okay, everybody, welcome back to the breakfast show. 20 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. So if you are supposed to be, for example, at work and your timing was 7, well, then you know you're running real later. But if it's like you're going there for 8, well, you still have a little time. I hope you make it on time. Right. But we are back inside of the second hour of the breakfast show.
You know, yesterday, Sir Charles, I sent a picture of an article that made the papers in 2020, leading up to the 2020 elections, right? And that's why I tell people I get fed up of this place, right? And I get fed up of the politics, and I get fed up of the authorities that, how I should put it, are in some way connected or maybe even sometimes controlled by politicians, because you see it all the time. People forget and I don't, right? So I kind of do my little research and check back and see what was happening then. You know what was the headline in one of the newspapers back then, leading up to the 2020 elections? Cops probe Barry. Now that's Barry Padarat, right? Because they have a picture of Barry Padarat on the front page of that newspaper then with some issue of a check. Female relatives company scrutinized. Millions in check payment under radar. MP says matter now in lawyers' hands. And then our next article on the front page. Questions to answer. Judge rules EMBD civil case going ahead. Contractors must explain inconsistencies. Now, why did I highlight that? Because of what's happening now in terms of Balisier House, in terms of probing this minister and probing that and probing the AG. It's like a cycle we are living in. It is a cycle we are living in, controlled by the politicians and the TTPS and the judiciary and the media and we citizens who here just trying to live our daily lives and try to enjoy life. We have to be dealing with this over and over and over again. Because trust me, when this government goes until 2030 and they lose, because they will lose, because of all the nonsense they're doing now, they're going to lose. Enough people will be motivated to come out and vote to kick them out of power.
In 2030?
Yeah, in 2030. It's not 2030?
No. I'm just saying, so you don't feel like you have enough time between now and then?
No. They've done. No. Nothing could recover. Nothing could recover them from what's going on now. Because the way the country divided, that's not going to change between now and 2030. The country is so divided that nothing is going to change that between now and 2030. Yeah. All the stories of now will be regurgitated, and in 2030, they'll be kicked out. Right?
Well, we'll see if there's truth to that, because you talk to people on both sides of the fence, and there are some people who are very happy and comfortable and feel that this thing is heading in a particular
some people, Charles?
I can't call names here, Wendell, but
people who are happy with the government, nothing wrong with that, Yeah. But there are sufficient enough people upset that those things are going to be regurgitated then, just like. But just giving you a pattern, giving you a pattern of what has happened, right? When the PNM in power, they regurgitate things the UNC do. When the UNC in power, they regurgitate the things the PNM did. And it's so we going in that cycle. And until a completely new, separate bunch of people come up with a party, Sir Charles, that is the cycle we are going to continue.
Well, that ain't happening anytime soon in Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, so that's the point I'm making too,
because
right?
we have so many smaller splinter parties. We have seen some of them, some young, bright individuals come on board, and eventually what they have to do to survive in the politics, they end up merging into the very said two parties that we are talking about.
Yeah.
The politics has a science behind it.
Well, the science is here. You pillory one another when you're in opposition. You have all the bright ideas when you're in opposition, and then you get in power, and then you do exactly what the other party was doing. Sometimes worse, sometimes maybe a little better. But that is the cycle we are living in, and that I'm pointing this out. This is my opinion, people. This is how I have observed things. Because as I say, look at the articles then. These people are in government. The same people who these articles were alleging were involved in all manner of things, they are now in government, right? It is going to happen. The cycle, as I say, is going to happen, repeat in 2020, unless some miracle happens between now and then, right? Because the electorate not changing. The same cadre of electorate, they are still there. They either get up and vote you out, or they get up, or they don't go and vote and get you out one way or the other, right? But that is what is happening. That's my opinion.
I wonder how many die-hard supporters do these parties, and already the two major parties right now.
200,000 each. 200,000 each.
So they basically even Steven, you know. And,
yeah, them ain't changing the vote regardless.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
It is that
it really is.
PNM lost the election the other day, Sir Charles, not because the UNC get so much more than them. It's because they got 102,000 less votes. It's not because the UNC was able to capture that vote and sweep them out of power. So the UNC seats are almost guaranteed, Sir Charles, regardless of what they do.
Yeah,
they're
because
guaranteed those seats.
Yeah, because if you start right now, if you have an election tomorrow and you start, they already ahead.
They already have 18 seats. They already have 17 to 18 seats. Yeah. They're guaranteed of that. Nothing ain't going to change with that. That seat along the East-West corridor that Khadija Amin holds, St. Augustine, they're guaranteed of that seat. They could cost you how much they want, she ain't losing that seat. The UNC ain't losing that seat. Right? We go now, the PNM problem stems from the two Tobago seats, the two seats down deep south what they lose recently for the first time in a long while, Labre and Point Fortin. That's where the PNM problem really lies in. You understand? And Tunapuna and St. Joseph, which are considered marginals, but will earn the side of PNM once the UNC continue with this stupidness. You understand?
Anyhow, let's do the poll, Wendell, because we just saw our guest will join us.
Yeah. All right. Our poll, of course, is should Balisier House be seized if the PNM are unable to explain the source of its funding? Right? That is our poll. We had a lot of chat on this morning. Somebody named Sean Sokerfield. Who is he? He's special because he voted 4 times. Sean, we only counted once, He said it's the first time he voting, but he votes 4 times.
So you want to vote for all the other times that he didn't vote?
Apparently.
Sean, maybe man.
Yeah. So he probably special.
Yeah.
Somebody tell him stop clowning. Maybe he can't help it.
All right. Let's see if we can take a couple calls on the poll, right? 2811315299515. Remember the calls are on the poll, right? And guess now we'll get into our Let's Talk segment as our guest arrives. Caller, good morning.
A blessed good morning to you, Sir Charles, Richard, and Wendell. Yeah, I voted no. What was the reason for ceasing it? That is 1. 2, it's just like with the book of Esther with Mordecai. The same man who set up the gallows is the same man who make aircraft in the gallows. You understand? I like to know when is local election, because I need to vote. I need to dip my finger anyway. I really need to vote because the set of nonsense that are going on in this country is a shame. And up to now, the people who they replace CPEP with have not get paid as yet. What's going on with that? And it's less people that they pay, and it's months they ain't get the money. I thank God they shout out, they make the name and say that how we ain't get paid. And this government saying, yes, we have people here that we change CPEP and we think, and up to now, you can't pay the people. Nah, man. Okay. And with the TTPS, I tell you, it's a waste of time.
Yeah, well, okay. Thanks very much, friend. Yeah.
Mr. Cragwell, I'm agreeing with your comment at 7:20. Because trust me, I don't think we realize how much power we hold. I really don't think. So I'm agreeing with it. I say that all the time, and I live that.
All right, let me take one more call and then we wrap the poll, right?
Yeah.
Caller, good morning.
Sir Charles,
Hi.
hell too. Hell no.
Hell no.
I said no. I said because I listened to you with bantering there with Wendell. So Charles, you really have another side to the story. You really feel people won't be motivated in 2030 to fling this government which party belong? Listen to me now, man. And no matter even if they come with a big back pay, they will take it and still vote them out. Yeah, man, read what I tell you on the chat.
All right, thank you. No problem. Thank you very much.
I'm just to emphasize. Sorry?
What?
No, just to emphasize.
I was just reading the poll one more time. Should Balisier House be seized if the PNM are unable to explain the source of its funding? We have the results up. Well, let me just give the results.
Yeah, sure.
Because, of course, you voted 1 if you agreed it should be seized. You voted 2 if you felt it should not. The majority, 90% of you who voted this morning, are saying no, it should not be seized. So 90%, the vast majority, is saying no, it should not be seized. And of course, 10% are saying yes. But 90% of people voting on the poll this morning across all platforms are saying no, it should not be seized. So that's it for our poll this morning. You know what the results are. Continue, Wendell. Yeah, I see you have something to say, so say it.
Yeah, just to go about, because there are people getting plenty money for what we just be doing on radio in the morning. You know? It's kind of in analysis and so on. People just get plenty money for doing that. Let me tell you something. In 2020 elections, right? The PNM won back that election because of how they handled COVID, you know? Because of the excellent job that the then Prime Minister, the Minister of Health, and the country itself, the health officials, handled COVID, you know. That's how they won, you know. The economy wasn't any better in 2020, but they handled COVID in such an excellent manner that they got a mandate again.
They handled COVID, and I think you are right. Whether they handled COVID excellently can only be summarized in retrospect in terms of looking at what was done, which was never done.
Right, true.
There was never a post analysis of how the country handled that emergency, which is what sensible, mature, intelligent countries do.
Right.
That was never done.
Right.
To see what we did right and what we did wrong.
So let me go now, Richard, to 2025. Because as I said, at the time in 2020, we just came out we were in the middle state of COVID, right? And the government was being praised internationally by the job that they were doing. They got another mandate. Even though UNC would have gathered another seat, and again, that was PNM fault. We put the wrong candidate in Arouca and we lost the seat. That's PNM people just do that. PNM people just get upset when you do things contrary to them, which is why PNM signed their fate in 2025, taking that increase in the middle of all what was going on, taking that increase for themselves, for all parliamentarians, but people didn't see it that way. People didn't see the opposition getting an increase. They saw Dr. Rowley and the PNM ministers getting an increase. That's what they saw. Okay? They mishandled the way they transitioned from Dr. Rowley to Stuart Young as Prime Minister and then foolishly called an early election. They mishandled that, Richard. Those are two self-inflicted wounds.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah, two self-inflicted wounds. PNM went into election, an early election again after losing 2 early ones before. You call another early one. You inflict wounds, and it's not that the people went and say, okay, I voted against you. They just didn't vote. And you lost.
All right, hold your thoughts. Hold your thoughts, and let's get into our Let's Talk segment. All right?
All right.
It's looking like you and me, so. Them blinds, I have them blinds by me, you know.
Oh, Lord. I don't know.
You had to go and see who let them in there.
What a wonderful professional way to start the interview.
And I'm not home, so I worried that better. Let me put on the cameras. See where you is at. That's my partner. That's my friend. That's my friend. I can only know my friends that. Morning.
Good morning, Wendell. Good morning, Richard, and good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning,
Marvin Gonzales.
How you
of course, he is the chairman of the People's National Movement, the chief whip in the parliament, and of course, the member of parliament for Arouca, Lopinot. Right? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's always a privilege.
So, well, Richard can ask you the poll question. I'll allow Richard to ask it. He has a nice dramatic way of asking.
The poll question, if I am doing it from memory, was, but you should have seen it.
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, that it should the Balisier House be seized if the PNM cannot explain its funding. Of course, the vast majority of people said no, it should not. What's your take on this whole investigation and/or prodding by the current administration concerning PNM financing of Balisier House? And just on a jump to that question, I know Wendell had brought it up in that we were confused at one point as to when they say Balisier House, do they mean the Balisier House that went into renovation, or are they referring to the building next door, which is cited in your former car park, which is also now a car park and additional floors? Which are they referring, or is it the entire thing?
The entire thing, both buildings, the renovated building as well as the one that is under construction. So the order relates to both buildings.
Is this the first time we have had such an order under this new regulation that came in under the PNM?
No, since the act, my understanding is that since the act came into force in 2017 or 2018, this is about the third order that was sought under the legislation. Third. So, well, let me say, right? You have to look at this in the context of everything to understand what is taking place. The Prime Minister, even before she was Prime Minister, she was opposition leader, and some of her current MPs, since the construction of Balisier House and the renovation of the older building, they have been making some negative reference to that project. Anil Roberts, Philip Alexander, all of them, they would have done live and say, and making all kinds of disparaging remarks about the renovation of the older building and the construction of the newer one. And then eventually it evolved into Balisier House being funded by drug money, by proceeds of crime, corruption, white-collar crime, etc. And they campaigned on that. When she became Prime Minister last year, on several occasions, she would have gone to Parliament using the cover of Parliament, parliamentary privilege, and she made reference to the fact that Balisier House is funded by drug money and similar disparaging remarks under the cover of Parliament. The Attorney General, in his first or second contribution in the Parliament, would have pointed to members of the opposition and said that I am at war, or rather I'm going to war with you, and made similar remarks on several occasions in the lower house. So it was quite clear what the intention of the government was. They made their intentions quite clear. It was quite clear that the Prime Minister appointed John Jeremy as her Attorney General to weaponize the office of the Attorney General. It was quite clear. The Attorney General has a passion for coming to Parliament and making wild statements, especially against persons or groups that are perceived to be opposed to the government. Now, so when news broke that the government, or rather the police, sought an order, a preliminary unexplained your wealth order on Balisier House, it was not surprising. because the Prime Minister, the Attorney General, and some of our key spokespersons, they made it quite clear, their position quite clear on Balisier House. Now, when you read the order, the affidavits by the police supported by the main document that they're relying on, it tells you everything. The Attorney General commissioned a valuation report from a UK firm. That report was commissioned by none other than the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago. That report, or valuation report, was done virtually. And it was a virtual valuation of the premises at number 1 Tranquility Street.
That's not possible, Mr. Gonzales.
Well, I am telling you.
Not as far as I'm aware. You have to physically be on site to do a valuation?
Well, I'm just telling you the facts.
Okay.
I'm not telling you what is supposed to be done.
Right.
We all know what's supposed to be done. So they did some analysis of the building without visiting the property, and they made comparisons with other buildings around Port of Spain, and they essentially advised the Attorney General that Balisier House, upon completion, that's the new one, will be somewhere in the region of $118 million. All right? And then the police said, well, based on their information and based on their analysis, the revenues of the PNM cannot support a project of $118 million. And therefore, the PNM, and also having regard to the fact that after the general elections, construction halted on the building. So that gives them reason to believe that the construction was being done by persons who received favors from the government. And the fact that construction has come to an end after the general elections, it gives further reason to believe that the building was constructed by persons or companies or contractors who were receiving government favors under the previous government. Now, here's the interesting thing. The report is dated June the 17th, I think, yes. June the 17th, 2026. And the report made it quite clear that it makes no finding of guilt or gives no opinion on whether on the allegations of corruption and kickbacks, etc., that is being said in the Trinidad and Tobago political landscape. So it made it absolutely clear that that was not the project that they were assigned to do, and they make absolutely no finding or give no opinion on that.
Is it that they were asked for that? Because any evaluator worth his salt could not possibly say something like that.
Oh, well, they were asked to produce a valuation on the property. All right? Right. So the report was submitted to the Attorney General. It's dated June the 17th, 2026. And somehow that report landed on the desk of the Commissioner of Police in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. But what is strange?
Hold on. Mm-hmm. It landed on the desk of the Commissioner of Police on the 10th of July, which is like about 2 or 3 weeks after the date of the report. The Commissioner of Police appointed the head of the police legal unit to conduct investigation into the matter. And on the same day he was appointed, an affidavit was sworn to and an application was made to the court to get a preliminary on explain your wealth order on the same day, the 10th of July, 2026. All of that occurred on the 10th of July, 2026. What also is very interesting is that the order or the application made it absolutely clear that it's the information that is being requested from the PNM is in relation to an intended criminal investigation into the construction of Balisier House, an intended criminal investigation, not a criminal investigation, an intended criminal investigation into the construction of Balisier House. And if the PNM is asked to produce this information, basically, it will be determined whether the preliminary information that they're asking for will now progress to the next stage, which is a disclosure of the information. So they're basically saying, number one, we don't have no evidence to support the commencement of a criminal investigation. In order to determine whether or not we should do so, we would need some preliminary information. And we want the PNM to provide this preliminary information to us. And then we will determine whether or not it will progress to a criminal investigation. So basically the police coming to you, telling you, listen, I don't have no evidence to commence a preliminary investigation. I am considering opening a criminal investigation, but I want you to disclose some facts about your personal circumstances. And when you disclose that, I will determine whether or not to open a criminal investigation.
So what are they requiring from the PNM as we speak now, without going into too much detail, for them to determine if they're going to go further with this? What is being required?
They want the PNM to disclose its bank accounts, it's the list of its donors, how much money they receive from the respective donors, how much money they receive from their members, and all of that detailed kind of information from, I think, 2015 to now. So they want all of that information from 2015 to 2025.
So they didn't actually confine it to the receipts for the actual construction of the building. They're asking for...
Very good question. Very good question. Very good question. Very good question.
So they're asking for all PNM financial business.
All PNM financial business from 2015 to now. They want to have an idea of your revenues from 2015 to now. So if you made a contribution to the PNM value $200, they want to get information. Did Richard Raghu-Basing contribute? How much he contributed? When did he contribute? The same for Sir Charles, the same for Wendell Stephen, and etc. They want to know that. That's the kind of information that they are asking for.
Well, I was going to give them it. Sorry, I because that to me is part and parcel of why the PNM is such a structured party.
I find it concerning, though. I find it concerning. I find it concerning because if it is your application is about the building and the issue of funding for the building, I think that's where you should train what the financing, particularly for that.
And Richard is absolutely right. Exactly. So this is what is taking place. But Wendell, as you know, there are a lot of people that make donations and contributions to political parties, and they wish for their confidentiality to be maintained. Especially in the political, having regard to the political landscape and environment, where if you are perceived to be PNM, you will be singled out for retribution.
So is that what's behind this then?
Of course, that is what this is all about. Of course, this is what this is all about. You think that the government is genuinely seeking information with respect to the financing of Balisier House? That is not what they're all about. They want to know who are the persons, who are the donors, and who are the persons, who are the citizens, the organizations that would have contributed, because they are all about revenge and retribution. And the party has a responsibility to protect its donors, to protect its members. The party has that responsibility. We are not interested in who is funding the UNC. The UNC has to account its membership on why after 35 years, they cannot construct a proper place for their members. Don't allow the PNM business, the PNM's, way in which we conduct ourselves, the respect that we have for our democracy and our members. by building an appropriate space for them to harass you to the extent that you want to know everything about our donors and our business, and you cannot account to your members. You recall some years ago when there was a big falling out between Jack Warner and Basio Pandey over $35 million?
Mm-hmm.
You remember that? That was
Yes,
that contributed to the straining of relationship between Jack Warner and Basio Pandey, where Pandey accused Jack Warner of taking $30 or $35 million that he received from a financier for the UNC. And there was allegation that it was in fact a contribution from a financier to the UNC to fight the campaign and to do other things for the UNC. And the other one was alleging, no, it was a gift. The UNC should concern themselves about its history with respect to donors who would have contributed money towards its operation and it went into other things. So I hear what you are saying, but having regard to the landscape that we are in, the hostile landscape, political landscape that we are in, it would be wrong for persons who would have been willing to come forward and make their donation, their contribution towards the politics and the democracy of our country, for their finances to be exposed in this particular way.
Mr. Gonzales, you know what I'm disturbed about, and I've said this on radio before, right? I have no problem with the politics, because I read an article, I read the front page of a newspaper this morning from 2020 when they were probing Barry Paderat with some check and with his relatives, and they were talking about EMBD. All of these things are par for the course when you're in politics, right? Politicians bring up things on people that could try to tarnish them, no problem. My disturbance in this matter is that the TTPS getting involved in it, seems to be getting involved, seems to be taking instructions from a government to go after their political opponents. That is what disturbs me the most about this, sir.
And you know what is the sad thing about it? Nowhere in these documents demonstrate or show the involvement of the Director of Public Prosecutions. A report commissioned by the Attorney General, who has declared his intention in the Parliament for all to see, that he is at war with members of the PNM, he's at war with members of the opposition, commissioned a report. And by the way, remember, this is the same Attorney General that removed the ACIB, the Anti-Corruption Investigation Bureau, from under the control and the direction of the Commissioner of Police Office, back under his office.
But Mr. Gonzales, this is the same Attorney General who himself made contributions towards the PNM and the building of Balisier House over many years. He sat as a member of the PNM and making contributions every month.
I intend to talk about that tomorrow at our public meeting as well. But remember, something occurred last year, and we in the PNM red flagged the issue. Of course, some citizens took note, but people did not believe that it would have ended up where we are today. The removal of the ACIB under the Office of the Commissioner of Police, it was formerly under the AG's office. When the PNM came into government in 2015, 2020, it was believed that the ACIB should not be under the control of the political directorate. That police officers should not be reporting directly to the Office of the Attorney General. Gary Griffith was the Commissioner of Police at the time, and I think it was Stuart was was in the AG's office.
National Security.
And National Security. And a decision was taken by the PNM to remove the ACIB under the Office of the Attorney General and place rightly under the Commissioner of Police. Last year, it was removed under the Commissioner of Police and placed back under the Office of the Attorney General. There are some functions of the SSA, the Strategic Services Association. You know what the SSA does? They involve in intelligence gathering, wiretapping of phones, interception of communications, etc. Some aspects of the SSA's operation was removed from under the Ministry of Homeland Security, or formerly Ministry of National Security, and placed under the Office of the Attorney General. When you connect the dots, you understand what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. illegal wiretapping and the weaponization of criminal investigation is a live issue in Trinidad and Tobago to go after opponents of the government.
Well, as I said, it's all part of politics worldwide, right? Politics operate like that. But it just this whole issue is coming across so personal, and the fact that the TTPS is now in the middle, because I don't know that moving ACIB now out of the commissioner hand would make a difference based on the actions we see coming out of the TTPS, right? That is what to me is disturbing and should disturb anybody. As I said, politics is about asking questions and about attacking this one and attack. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but not when criminal investigations are being triggered by the political directorate. That's the reason why you have a constitutional office of Director of Public Prosecutions to advise the independent office of the Commissioner of Police where these matters are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
That is the reason why. That's the reason why you have these independent offices in our constitution, so as not to allow criminal prosecution to be tainted by the politics of the day. Because the minute you go down that road and you continue to go down that road, you would place your democracy in peril.
Yeah.
Mr. Gonzales, as I say, politics and politicians, sometimes I don't expect that where one group will play by a particular rule, the other one will. But the thing is that legal proceedings have probably started where this is concerned. What is going to be the PNM's response to what has been happening so far? Are you all going to cooperate with the investigation, or are you all not going to?
Well, the PNM's response will be guided by its legal team. To say that we are going to cooperate or not cooperate with this preliminary order that was obtained by the TTPS would be quite premature. Our legal team is looking at the order meticulously, and they will present all the options that have.
Yeah, we lost you there temporarily. Yeah, your mic is muted, Mr. Gonzales. If you hear me? Your mic is muted.
Yes, because
yeah, I think he touched something on his screen that muted the mic.
Yeah. I don't know how do we signal that.
I'm waving. We all should wave.
But he should be hearing us too.
Yes.
All right.
Unmute your mic now.
Yeah.
Right. No, so your mic is still going back on mute.
Yeah.
Folks, just bear with us
a moment here while Mr. Gonzales gets that sorted
Let me
out.
respond whilst we're waiting on Mr. Gonzales. Let me respond to a question from Andre. Andre asks, can you ask? Oh, he's calling me. Let me see what he called. That's all right, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your mic muted.
Yeah, so we seem to just getting that sorted out a little bit, and once we get that organized, we will jump back inside there. I mean, there are so many questions that can be asked where all of this is taking place, and I do hope that we get him back.
He's gonna come out and rejoin because
I
don't know what's going on his end. But I want to read a question here, and so Charles, look out for him coming back in, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Wendell, this is from Andre. Wendell, can you ask Mr. Gonzales if it's the PNM's position that it will not explain its wealth to the court in defense of the construction of Balisier House? Basically similar to what you just asked, Sir Charles.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Richard would have asked this question because it is not limited to the construction of Balisier House. So and Mr. Gonzales answered that. The question from the TTPS is not limited to the construction of Balisier House. It's asking for all contributors and finances from 2015 to now. Yeah, we have you. Right.
Yes.
What was the question? What was the answer? So Charles had asked an answer, asked a question. Sorry.
Sorry, I can't. No. So I was telling Sir Charles that the party will follow the advice given to it by its legal team. The party is not advising itself. We have put together a very strong legal team, and in the coming days, the country will have an idea as to those legal experts that we have put together to advise the party on these proceedings.
What I would also like to find out, Mr. Gonzales, as you mentioned, if there is that political interference coming from the government, or in this case, where do you all take that complaint? Is there a place that you all can take that complaint that it can be ventilated to, so somebody can investigate if that interference is taking place from that angle?
Well, this case has presented to us a perfect platform to ventilate this particular matter, and we will make use of this opportunity.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. As I said, my concern is the TTPS involvement in
I
politics.
I am happy for the legal opportunity to be able to raise this particular matter in the courts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't know anybody who's constructing a building today that does it, because it's almost like if they are contradicting themselves when they're saying that it's drug money and all this thing. Well, if it was drug money, it would have been finished long time.
Well, I mean, look at exactly, and it would, but I mean, the UNC is so hypocritical that it's not even funny. But let me just hold what I was about to say, because I know they are listening carefully to everything that I say, and they are trying to use it and weaponize it. So I have to be very cautious in what I say.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Richard, do you have any more questions, Mr. Gonzales?
No. I mean, I think he answered a lot of what with regard to that Balisier House issue. I know you all have a meeting tomorrow. Where you are inviting, generally, I think, at least from the advertisement I saw, generally people from, not necessarily PNM members, but people who are concerned to come out to attend your meeting tomorrow concerning whatever you all are going to have on the platform, what you all are talking about. I mean, of course, there are many people on social media concerned about the direction of the country. Of course, some is supported because they have their supporters, but some are concerned about the direction of the country in terms of what it's indicating, because it seems to be so much a mirror of the playbook of our neighbor to the north.
Up north, yeah.
In terms of the weaponization of the justice system.
Yeah.
And they're making comparisons to that. Do you think those are legitimate comparisons? And of course, in terms of what's going on.
It is a legitimate comparison. I mean, you just have to put on your television and some of the news networks, and you follow the politics of the United States of America. And it is as though our colleagues in Trinidad and Tobago, they are reading the same playbook. They are not only reading the playbook, but they are implementing the playbook. Word by word, sentence by sentence, chapter by chapter, page by page. Now, yes, even though it is a PNM meeting at Balisier House tomorrow, we are encouraging all citizens who care about our democracy and our country to come forward. This is beyond the PNM. Balisier House is a symbol of democracy in this country. Balisier House is a place where Dr. Eric Williams sat and discussed decisions and policies, and engaged in discussions that impacted our national lives, whether or not you support the PNM. Balisier House is a place where Patrick Manning, it gave birth to Patrick Manning, George Michael Chambers, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, and even our present political leader, Penelope Beckles Robinson, and so many outstanding citizens and persons who would have come forward to give of their life to this nation and contribute to national development. So many of the decisions taken over the last 60 years, whether you like it or you support it or not, that created and contributed to who we are as a society today, started with discussions within the walls of Balisier House since our independence.
And that's a very valid statement. And I mean, our constitutions basically were birthed under PNM administrations. But you know, the PNM has always had a philosophy that they've articulated of standing alone and not coalescing with any other party or party organizations, because you have splinter parties that are seeking to attract the third party vote. If the PNM is serious about whatever threat to democracy that you're articulating here right now, is it that they're going to be inviting members of the cross-section of the political spectrum to that meeting tomorrow in an official capacity? And I'm talking about people like Michaela Pandey, Patriotic Front, you have Commander Dindial, I can't remember the name of the party, Gary Griffith, these kinds of people who are advocates and who are activists in their own way in terms of commenting on what is going on. So if the PNM, to me, is serious about, you're talking about democracy and you're embracing all, then they have to show that and action it. Otherwise, it just becomes another PNM party meeting.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And I am of the personal view, that not too long from now, the PNM has to widen its platform to allow for groups and individuals who share the concerns that we have for our democracy and for our country. That we must open our platforms to allow those persons to contribute to the national discourse, because of course we have a very powerful platform. We have a huge national platform. And I think the time has arrived for that platform to be opened up to all those persons who care about Trinidad and Tobago. Tomorrow, however, and whilst I hear and I understand and I support what you said, Richard, tomorrow, however, the party is seeing this as an opportunity to rally the membership of the PNM and persons who would have contributed to the PNM over the years to come to Balisier House and to show solidarity. The PNM is in a very, we've lost the elections last year, and the party is still in the process of reconciliation, internal reconciliation. There are some divisions. There are people who have very strong views with respect to the current state of affairs within the party, the direction that the party should go. And these things are quite normal, especially after losing a major election. So that process is taking effect. And I am confident as time progresses, the party will settle down and continue to, mobilize and strengthen its presence on the national landscape. And to demonstrate that it is ready again by capturing the hearts and minds of citizens to be in government. So tomorrow's meeting is really one that is targeting the membership of the PNM. It is a rallying call for the membership of the PNM. We haven't had an opportunity to rally together in this kind of way, because whilst we may have our internal differences, as I've said, it's quite normal. The attack on Balisier House is one that concerns every PNM person. And regardless of however we feel on some matters internally, the attack on Balisier House is a rallying issue that will bring all the membership together and express how we feel about what the government is doing at the party. I personally believe, and I have indicated internally in the General Council meetings and in some of our internal meetings and externally, just 2 or 3 weeks ago, I don't know if you all would have heard it, but I think it was about a month ago, we were in a meeting in Claxton Bay. A huge meeting, large crowds came out, and there I made a call for unity within the party. And I told PNM members that our internal differences and how we feel about each other are so insignificant compared to the threat, the common threats that face all of us as a party and as a country. I reminded them, I say, I know there are some differences, I know there are some divisions, etc. And I know there are some hard feelings that some people harbor towards each other. But if you observe what is taking place on the national landscape, it pales how we feel about each other is so insignificant. And therefore, we have a responsibility to come together and to unify our forces through our party groups and structures within the community so that we can defend the party from a common threat and defend the country from a common threat. That was about a month ago.
Gonzales, I know we have to end the interview, but one last question in regard to what you just brought up there. You were supposed to have a meeting with Ashton Ford, who had apparently raised some issues of the discontent in the internal framework of the PNM to which you are referring. Did you have that meeting with Ashton Ford?
Yes. That's reference to Rima, I think, right?
No, he raised some issues with respect to the General Secretary and some other issues.
Okay. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, it was a letter that he posted on social media, and it was carried by the Guardian and the Express newspapers. And I told the media that I will be reaching out to Ashton Ford and to have discussions with him on it. So yes, I did speak to Ashton Ford. As a matter of fact, Ashton Ford and I speak as the chairman of the party. I speak to everyone within the party. On this particular issue, yes, I had some lengthy discussions with him. He expressed how he felt about the issues that he raised, and we made a commitment to continue our discussions. I did also speak to the General Secretary because a lot of what he raised was in relation to the office of the General Secretary. So I did speak to the General Secretary, and the General Secretary and I agreed that at some point in time very soon, we will be having an audience with Mr. Ford. And I guess all those persons who may have shared or maybe sharing the views of Mr. Ford. So yes, that discussion is ongoing, and I intend to pursue it further.
Yeah, if it's one piece of advice I could have for the PNM is they need to do things differently. They're going into our local government elections just now. Show the people early o'clock who you're going to be putting to head these corporations, and put people who are not beholden to anybody. Put people who are serious about moving those municipalities forward.
We started the screening. Eh? We have done 2 or 3 sets of screening around the country. Richard, we started in Shoguanas, and I think we moved to Sangre Grande, but we are targeting those seats that the party does not hold at this point in time. So there are a lot of seats, council seats that we do not have, and we started screening for those seats, and then we moved towards seats currently held by the PNM.
But even that should be a different approach. To me, show people your strength, that these are the people you're putting in the areas that you now hold, and these are the people who are going to be heading these corporations. You understand? Yeah. And not people who, at the end of the day, just show up, and because this one like them or this one don't like them, that is the position they get. PNM has to change that style. I'm sorry.
Mr. Gonzales, just before you go, I just want to find out, and I would not take you back to this whole situation of the Jack Warner and the bespoke arrangements and stuff. And it is something I've not heard the People's National Movement speak about. But from what
when you say bespoke arrangement, what are you referring to?
With the extradition that has now been
discontinued.
Yeah, and and they mentioned that some arrangements that were supposed to be in place or were set to be in place was not there, and they mentioned the 2 attorney generals under the People's National Movement, Mr. Alwari and I think Douglas Menz or something like that. Something else they remember.
Amor, don't call people wrong name now. Reginald Amor.
Right. Is that something that you all are going to speak about, or?
I don't have the facts on what transpired in the constitutional proceedings before the court and the finding by the judge, but I can say that our previous Attorneys General, Faris Alwari and Reginald Amor, they are experienced individuals, experienced legal practitioners, and if they are asked to provide clarification on these proceedings, they are more than qualified to do so. But the party is not going to comment on matters that the High Court has ruled upon. But any inquiry with respect to the Attorney General's office and the way in which this matter was managed, our previous Attorney General will be in a position to, together with experts and counsels that they would have retained externally, will be in a position to provide any clarification.
Even if it also puts as to how the Attorney General office may have been handled under the last administration, the party will not respond to anything like that.
All I could tell you is don't be quick to jump to that conclusion. The attorneys who were retained, led by Douglas Mendez, by the Attorney General office on this particular case, that group was removed by this current Attorney General.
All right, thank you very much, Marvin Gonzales. We went way over time today. But it's always a pleasure speaking with you, and hopefully PNM, the meeting is open to everybody, right? Because somebody is putting in the chat
meeting. It's a public meeting for everyone.
Right.
All right.
For everyone.
So Richard and Sir Charles are both specifically invited. You have a personal invitation from the chairman of the People's National Movement this morning.
Well, them might quicker come a PNM meeting than me, but all right. We'll talk again. I want to talk to you personally, yeah?
Yeah, sure. Richard and Sir Charles, I look forward to seeing both of you there.
All right, okay.
But I'm up front.
Richard doesn't seem impressed.
Thank you very much, sir.
I actually did get an invitation.
Look at that. And I ain't get none.
I did get an invitation. I'm like, what? But okay. I suppose the media thing, then.
Yeah. Well, I get the media invites too. Yeah. All right, folks.
We're going to the news anyhow. When we come back, we'll open the lines to take your calls on what you have been listening to all morning.
Yeah, man.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on Net Radio and Gayelle TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. The Ministry of Public Administration and Artificial Intelligence has clarified that a Tier 4 data center project was initiated under the former PNM administration to provide secure government data storage and digital services, not to develop a secret AI data center. The ministry said reports linking the Tier 4 project to the government's proposed artificial intelligence facilities were patently false and based on a misunderstanding of the project's purpose. It explained that the Tier 4 classification refers only to the reliability and resilience of the facility, while the AI projects under Memoranda of Understanding with Ernst & Young LLP and Hummingbird AI Holdings are separate commercial high-performance computing facilities with different technical and investment models. The ministry also stated that, despite procurement activity, the Tier 4 project has not yet been fully operationalized and reaffirmed its commitment to transparency and responsible digital infrastructure development. Activist Alyssa Phillip and her mother, Camille Carrasquero, have pleaded not guilty to charges arising from their arrests during the Labor Day March on June 19th. Phillip appeared before Senior Magistrate Erica Baptiste Ramkissoon at the Superior Magistrates Court and denied charges of taking part in a riot, disorderly behavior, and resisting arrest. Carrasquero also denied charges of taking part in a riot, obstructing police in the execution of their duties, and resisting arrest. The case was adjourned to October 20th. Attorney Fayola Sandy is representing both women. Phillip and Carrasquero are also facing separate proceedings related to another protest near the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions in May, involving allegations of disorderly behavior and breaches of the emergency powers regulations. That matter is scheduled to resume on September 29th. MP for Trinity Maloney, Camille Robinson Regis has rejected allegations of mismanagement and corruption made by Philip Alexander following his visit to the constituency. Alexander claimed the Maloney Mall was largely vacant, with only 2 barely open restaurants, deteriorating infrastructure, and gang-related problems affecting several buildings. He also alleged contract corruption linked to PNM ministers and said the Housing Development Corporation Board may investigate the matter. In response, Robinson Regis accused the current administration of allowing PNM communities to deteriorate out of political spite. She said several projects in Trinity and Maloney, including HDC repairs, the redevelopment of the Maloney HDC Mall, and the opening of a new community center, had stalled since May 2025. She also complained of neglected grass cutting, deteriorating public facilities, and irregular garbage collection, which she said had led to increased vermin problems in the constituency. Justice Frank Seepersad has dismissed a judicial review claim by Ultimate Supplements Limited and Che Howell Enterprises Limited against the Comptroller of Customs and Excise, ruling that Customs acted lawfully in questioning the value of imported health and nutritional products. The companies had claimed Customs unlawfully rejected their declared values, imposed deposits before releasing goods, and delayed clearance. However, the judge found Customs had sufficient grounds to investigate, citing missing documents, major price discrepancies, and concerns from trade data, including one case where identical products showed an almost 300% difference in price. Justice Seepersad also rejected corruption allegations against named customs officers, saying serious accusations must be supported by evidence, not suspicion or innuendo. Trinidad and Tobago has deployed air and naval support to assist Guyana's rescue and recovery efforts after the MV Barima capsized. Defense Minister Wayne Sturge said, "A C-26 aircraft and a Daman vessel, carrying a crew of 27, including 7 divers, left Trinidad on Sunday night to aid search operations. The ferry, carrying an estimated 179 people from Georgetown to Port Kaituma, capsized after reportedly being struck by a large wave. 67 people were rescued, but dozens remain missing and are feared dead, including several children. Guyana's President Irfan Ali has announced an independent investigation into the tragedy, while Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesar pledged Trinidad and Tobago's support to the rescue mission. Finally, a 65-year-old man has recounted the terrifying moment a bison attacked him in Yellowstone National Park, saying the animal appeared to single him out as its target. Carl Isom McDaniel was taking a photograph with his grandson on July 10th when the bison suddenly charged and launched him into the air. Speaking from his hospital bed, he said the animal just kept coming and became increasingly aggressive. Isom McDaniel suffered a shattered hip, with doctors confirming multiple fractures that required surgery. The National Park Service says bison injure more people in Yellowstone than any other animal and advises visitors to stay at least 25 yards away at all times. And that is Net Radio News at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with new Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Calling all you Net Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your crews. Join us for Net Radio's Halloween Cooler Crew in red, white, and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August, boarding at 7 p.m. from Hard Cuts Shagaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. Enjoy great music all night long from your favorite net DJs, Sir Charles, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
Tell you you's a big dancer. Come show
Early bird tickets are just $200 after $250 Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumba, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Crep, Fats International in Arima, K Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall and Eastgate Mall, and all net DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your coolers, bring your crews, and let's celebrate together. Net Radio, Halloween, Hula Crew. Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Halloween, on the scene. Flavor Entertainment Services, your one-stop premium entertainment service provider. We offer top-tier, best-in-class karaoke and DJ services for your private events, sports bars and lounge. Let us help make your birthday parties, weddings, anniversaries, and corporate special events memorable and special. Call us now at 462-2029. We provide more than just music. We create memories that last.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
So we are back inside the final leg session, call it what you want, hour of the breakfast show. It's now 27 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. We're happy to be here with you. And of course, let me tell you about the Color Week Cooler Cruise that is coming up on the 15th of August. So remember, people, you can still get your early bird tickets. Get them now. They are just $200 and you can pick them up. You can pick them up at Rumbox in St. James, Crosby's in St. James, Bobby's Bar in Kirap, also Fats International in Arima, and of course you can also check out K Squared Fashions. They have 3 locations that we're using, the one at East Gate, West Mall, and C3 Center in San Fernando, right? So make sure you pick up your tickets. August the 15th on board the Island Royalty. Pack your coolers. It's a cooler cruise. And no glass bottles. Remember that, no glass bottles, all right? But you could come and party with all of the net DJs. Mr. Flavor is going to be there, RJ, DJ Ducks International, Fluffman, DJ Timeless, and of course yours truly, Sir Charles and Selector CJ. So you know you're in for a good time on board the Island Royalty. We're boarding at 7 o'clock. We're sailing at 8 o'clock. By midnight, you're back on the inside. And remember, if we don't empty the cooler on the boat, when we come off on the pier, we're going to sit down and empty it right there and lime till morning, right? It's up to you. But all in all, it's going to be a nice one. Get your tickets now. And for those of you who are not cruising anymore, because, we know everything, let's go. But still support the venture, when you support the venture, you support the platform, you support Net Radio, you support the breakfast show, you support all of us by purchasing a ticket or 2 or 5 or 10, how much you want to contribute to. It's up to you, all right? But you can do so now. Call us and we will help you to do that. You know all our numbers, 2811-315-299-5156. You can also get in contact with any one of us, the DJs, presenters, and we will help you walk through that whole process to get it done. All right, but yeah, we are almost at the mountain again. Don't wait till the mountain. Get your tickets this weekend. Get it now. Right. I think that's all I can tell you all on the cruise for now.
Yeah, we'll try to get in touch with Hillary Benjamin before the week is out, maybe by Friday, so she could, or Friday this week or the following week, to talk a bit about her fundraiser that she's having on Sunday, August 2nd at the St. Francois Girls College. It's comedy and laughter and music, of course. The contribution is only $175. So, but we'll try to get her on air so she could tell us a bit about it and the reason behind it and why you need to support it, right? Somebody sent me, well, not somebody now. Paul sent me an interesting article here, Sir Charles. Listen to this. $830 billion has vanished from the alcohol industry in 4 years. He said that's not a headline, it's a signal. It says the world's biggest beer, wine, and spirit companies are down 46% from their 2021 peak, and Morgan Stanley isn't calling it a cycle, it's structural. Just 54% of Americans still drink, the lowest in nearly 90 years. A quarter don't drink at all. Here's what most people miss. The spending and the night didn't disappear. They relocated. Non-alcoholic drinks just crossed $1 billion. The wellness economy is now $6.8 trillion. GLP-1s are quietly turning down the whole overconsumption dial. The dollars and the hours that used to belong to the bar are looking for a new home. Isn't that interesting? Now that's America. Eh? I don't think Europe stopped drinking. I don't think the people in Europe stopped drinking at all.
Yeah.
But they say that Americans are drinking a lot less than they were drinking 4 years ago. Very interesting.
Yeah, that's a very interesting piece of thing on.
Yeah, I'll send it for you guys to have a look at it. You know? It's something that we could probably discuss with people in that industry, either people from the bar industry. But we know what's happening here in Trinidad and Tobago, especially since the government changed in terms of the licenses, the license fees, and all these different fees that are now attached to people with bars. Several bars have closed down. We haven't heard much from the bar industry since our initial discussion with them. They've gone quiet, you know. A lot of people have gone quiet, actually. You know, but it'll be interesting to get a perspective on what's going on now with people who are actually not drinking anymore. Are you one of them? Anybody out there? Are you one of those persons who was drinking 4 years ago and stopped?
Yeah, or the amount that they used to drink, you're drinking plenty less now. Yeah. I would suppose that happening too. But it seems that we have a younger set of people coming on board who are very health conscious.
Well, that's what the article is saying. A lot more people are now into their health, their wellness,
and because the information is bombarding them, you know. So whereas before you may not have paid attention to certain things, you see it once, you see it twice, but when you see it so often, now you say, well, you know what? Maybe I need to get out and exercise a little more. Maybe I need to stop drinking all that sort of alcohol and smoking all that sort of cigarette and all. You know, so it will be interesting to see what the cigarette industry is saying.
Yeah. I think that one slow down, though, no? Because that's
another one, you know.
With all the health warnings, I think that one slow down, no? I think we have a lot more people too smoking marijuana. I saw somebody put it up on Facebook the other day that every car, a lot of cars, you just smelling weed coming out of cars. People just driving and smoking. Mm-hmm. I suspect we may have more people smoking marijuana. We had this discussion the other day, not so?
I know we did not, but I also suspect that because just recently I realized that a couple of times that I've traveled, I've used the ride share, and when I get in the cars, I mean they're not smoking, but the car smelling of marijuana.
What? How is that? Then the driver had to be smoking because a driver can't possibly pick up somebody who's smoking.
You know, but because himself, you pick up somebody who's smoking, and eventually they leave. But sometimes, if you or yourself, when nobody's in your car, you're smoking, and you know.
That's what I said. The driver has to be the smoker, not the passengers.
No, it's more. I feel it's more the driver.
Yeah, how to be the driver?
Because people don't realize that smoke and scent stay with you, you know. Yeah, it stay with you after a time. Sometimes you start to sweat that. You can't help it. You walk in that room where everybody knows you're a smoker anyway.
Yeah.
So how expensive the cologne is.
I have a nose for smokers.
Regardless of how expensive that cologne is, trust me. If it's in your blood, it's in your blood. Let's take a couple calls now. And let's see what people have to say. we talked about a lot of things today. So 2811315 and 2995156, right? Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Sir Charles, Richard, and Wendell. It's not the matter that people drinking less, you know. The price of paying for a bottle of rum right now, they have about 2 or 3 bottles when you used to get it before. So if you can afford, hello?
That too, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's 1. 2, the next poll question you all should do, I don't know if you all will do this. Should UNC show the source of its funding to pay the rent to the UNC headquarters? How are they getting that money? Are they renting it by the month or is it a lease that is long term?
Where the UNC headquarters is now?
You can't be one-sided.
Where is the UNC headquarters now?
But it's still on Rienzi.
It's on the Shogunas.
No, it's not in Rienzi. Not in Rienzi.
You see Chief face big and bowl on it.
They kicked them out of Rienzi some years ago.
Yeah, but they're not in Rienzi, they're on the highway. See, when they as a bypass, I think it's a little way before Bagwan Singh Hardware.
Ah, okay.
It's on the highway on your right hand side when you're going down to Shogunas.
All right, okay.
And you see, she picture big and bowl on it. But they should, guys, you want the poll question I like you all to do. Should the UNC show the source of their fundings to pay the rent for UNC headquarters? And also, is it being paid monthly or is the lease that they have yearly or something? And who's sourcing them with that to pay the rent? They need to show their files. They can't have it one-sided.
True. Well, amazingly, the PNM introduced legislation in the parliament and clearly never used it for the intention it was brought. Because Marvin did say that there have been other instances, but I don't know them at all.
Yeah, but probably not high profile like this, you know what I mean? Remember this, it might, if they bring it against you or they bring it against me, nobody ain't paying attention to that. But when it reaches the political party, everybody interested. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Wendell.
Morning.
Good job.
Morning, caller.
Wendell Kush.
Yeah, Kush.
So this is how I had to get to talk to you.
Yes, Coach. I tell you, after 9, I don't want to deal with these things. You know, I can have a 5-minute, far less a 10-minute conversation with anybody. I have zero patience.
All right.
Sorry, but you can raise it on radio. That's what we're here for. You gone, Coach? Where you gone, Sir Charles? Like everybody gone? Am I speaking to myself? It seems so. Anybody text me if you're hearing me, please, because I don't know where Sir Charles and Kush gone.
Go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
All right. When a budget is passed, let us say like in 2023, when the PNM decided, when the government at the time decided to give public servant workers 4% increase, and PSA and NUGFW decided they was taking the matter to the court, and then in 2024 the government gave another 5%. Isn't it? And the budget was passed. Isn't it that even regardless if they didn't take the money and the budget was passed, isn't that money still in the treasury waiting for the determination of the matters before the court?
I don't know how it works, well, so I can't really help you out with that. Yeah. And sometimes because allocation doesn't mean they having money.
That they had to get money to pay the workers, which really and truly NUGFW and PSA, it was only 1% plus COLA or whatever it is that also get additional to pay them.
Yeah, but allocation doesn't mean that money are readily available to you.
Yeah, it doesn't mean release.
Yeah, sometimes that money they on paper.
Okay, if you want to say so, but maybe somebody might be able to tell me different, because our budget was passed and the money was passed to pay workers X amount. And 2 of the said parties refused to take the money and pursue the matter before the court. A year, 2 years after, the government gave another increase of 5%. The police, the fire, and everybody else take the money. Only these 2 individuals did not take the money.
The money should be there still.
Well, it goes back to the consolidated fund as far as I am aware.
Yeah,
but remember, as Sir Charles said, money allocated is not money released. They do that all the time in budgets. They allocate funds for certain things, and if they release it, they ain't spending it. But it don't mean that they have it somewhere. They sitting down waiting.
And if it come back, you know what? We have other use for it too.
Yeah, they via it. That's what corporations do a lot to get the funds going, and that's why.
But you have to distinguish between ongoing negotiations or incomplete negotiations, maybe a better way to put it, vis-a-vis budget financial statement being read end of September, early October, because the financial year begins from October 1st. So a government may allocate to different ministries, and remember, a lot of it is recurrent expenditure. Is a lot of our budget is ready to pay salaries and stuff. Then some is capital, some might be PSIP projects, etc. But that issue of increases in salaries, if that not settled or that is not a certainty within a certain financial year, they're not allocating for that. That will come up in midterm review, or they will say it's going to go to the next financial year, which is what they're saying right now. This is a perfect example that they're saying it's going to happen in the next financial year in terms of getting the money. And then, of course, they're trying to do a hybrid system where you take some cash and you take some in another way. But that's how they look at it. It's what is certain within the next financial year that they're allocating for. They're not going to go on if it is an incomplete negotiation.
Very well. Thanks very much. Good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Should I give question number?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr.
Well, I might have not written all over bathroom walls like yours, so refrain yourself.
What the chairman of the PNM said this morning, go back to that, right? Where he said the investigation is more broader than what I honestly thought it was, in that it's stretching back to something like 2015. I wanted to ask Wendell, he is involved with the PNM, for how long construction of the new Balisier House and the renovation of what we consider the old Balisier House, how long ago that started? One. Secondly, I want to find out if when a government lost an election and as some of the PNM former ministers, even the former Minister of Education, admitted that they was not treating their supporters good. And I heard the now, what they call opposition leaders saying, if they get back inside, right, that they will go back to CPEP and URP and all these things, right? And we know for a fact, those programs was not really treating what we call the small man on the ground. They were getting the way called pickings, chicken feed, and those so-called corrupted, not all of them. I have some good friends who are contractors, not all of them. I want to put that clear. Who was getting the bulk of the money? And I want to know, how is it that when they are so confident that PNM going to win again because of the fact that PNM and all what is happening now, we say that PNM going to win again. I'm telling him, it will not be so easy. This government have about 36 to 38 months still in power and in government to get the act together. And they have a better, far better campaign strategy than anything the PNM could have. Right? So I'm telling Wendy, do not sound so confident. PNM do a lot of wicked thing and they need to repent. They need to repent.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Mr. Billy. Yeah. Mr. Billy, PNM.
Repent! What the PNM demands?
But PNM lost an election. They're just losing an election. They're losing here, they head now trying to defend all this stupidness. But I'm going to tell you something. People are not going to forget this early time of the UNC government, regardless of how long they have again. They're not going to forget. Let me answer the next question. The issue of the rebuilding of Balisier House, I don't remember when it started, but I can tell you funds were being raised long time ago. You understand? I myself was on a truck up and down this country with 3 BMW vehicles on it, selling a raffle, and I can tell you that the raffle was very successful. So I can't answer the direct questions as to how much funds was raised and when it actually started or when the building started. I can't answer them questions.
Yeah,
but can you answer the question, Wendell, of whether PNM needs to be repent?
Well, they're repenting or no. They're repenting or no. Let them go get their act together now. I don't think the UNC, as I say, doing enough right now to disturb people. Whether, I don't know that they will recover from it because people are going to remind them. But if a third party come up, if a third party smart,
party to come in between now and the next general election.
That is who might swing.
Well, what I will say is this: if it vindictiveness is not a long-term political strategy that sustains. So, because people remember it.
Yep.
And so it's not a good approach for sustainability in power.
Yep. That's what
because when you're cruel to other human beings, people remember. People remember.
Yep. Yeah. Hold on 1 minute there, guys. Caller, good morning. Shagwana, go ahead.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Sir Charles. Good
morning, Shagwana.
Morning, sir.
I just have three small points. I don't know if I could indulge with this morning. Right? The first thing is the poll question. I have a little conspiracy theory where that is concerned. If the government continue on the present trajectory, what do you feel is their chances in the next election?
Well, according to Wendell, they would lose.
0, they will lose. Right. They will get the same 18 seats, but they will lose.
That's the same thing they talk about. They thought it was happening in Tobago too, but that's all right. Go ahead.
Right. So I saw, although there are some people in the government who are not bearing the stand and feel all what they're doing is good and correct and the plans working and the SOE working and producing results. There are people who are intelligent and politically savvy and know that would be the outcome, right? So the question about Balisier House, if it's proven, right, because I don't know if the PNM innocent or guilty or if they have all the finances in order, but if it's proven that it had financial impropriety in the Balisier House thing, it's not that they would seize the building. That is not the outcome they want, because there will be in breach of the electoral process, not so? So
I'm not sure, but that's a good question.
What electoral process?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you say illegal campaign funding or funding to the party, and
we have no campaign finance law. What campaign finance law we have?
None. We have none.
Yeah, no, but that electoral rules, and if they're guilty of that, they can ask the party to be banned from the electoral process or disbanded or whatever. And then
electoral rules, no, that have nothing to do with that. Have nothing to do with that building.
The UNC, no, I mean the
electoral rules are governing an election process. That has nothing to do with a building.
Yeah.
And if you're talking about campaign finance, that's an issue that neither party has dealt with effectively in terms of campaign finance reform, even though there have been lobbies from certain sectors of the society to have campaign finance reform, which would be about the transparency of where you're getting large funding from. Not small funding, but large funding. Where is that coming from?
My theory was that they're going along that road eventually to probably get the PNM disbanded or banned from the electoral process. So that in that case now.
But those are conversations that neither political party is interested.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. But caller, before you move on, I mean, like I understand what you're talking about, and if I was actually in government, I will do anything to make sure that I get rid of the opposition.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not how democracy is supposed to work, Sir Charles.
Exactly.
The opposition is an vital part of a democracy. So if that is your modus operandi, you're not looking for democracy, you're looking for a dictatorship. Because that's not what democracy is about. Democracy is about dissenting voices and you understanding that there will be dissenting voices.
Yeah. Charles, is that what you're in favor of? You're in favor of a dictatorship?
No, I'm not talking about dictatorship. I'm talking about if I was in office, I would try everything to make sure that I could put everything legally to hinder the next party from.
So you're in favor of a dictatorship?
That's what you're saying. I know what I said.
No, that's what I'm asking.
You interpreted it that way. Anyhow,
I'm asking that.
Yeah.
Shall I not answer that?
I'll omit one of the points because I see we press for time and
yes, sounds very much
make the country.
Yeah, right. Yeah, when are you not going to sucker me down now?
No, but Richard, now explain what it is you hinting at. Is that what you want?
I don't remember what I was trying to tell what the caller was saying. Caller, good morning. Hello, good morning, caller. Lincoln.
Good morning. So Charles, that's not a difficult question. Even if Wendell is trying to carry you down a rabbit hole, it's not a difficult question to answer. You know, no, I don't support a dictatorship, but for some reason you're not saying that. So I don't want to. So I have to assume the other answer is the answer that you want to give.
Is yes,
you would say that you don't support something.
Yeah. It sounds like he wants to support it, then Lincoln.
Yes, and he just don't want to say he's not supporting it.
Exactly.
He's supporting it, right? But what I really called for is the Marvin Gonzales interview, and Marvin Gonzales was absolutely correct, and I'm glad that he said it out loud. What it seems like, based on the information that they're requiring from the courts, is that, but not from the courts, from the police. It seems like the government is more interested in who are the financiers of the party, and based on what we are seeing happening with the Hadids, it is safe to presume or assume that the financiers will be eventually targeted and victimized based on their political allegiance.
PDOs in the Rukunkutunkung. That's what they're going on here.
Yes, and not just PDO. PDOs is fine, no, but the government have actively targeted these people and their business, and set out to destroy their income, right? And every business person in this country needs to be concerned about these actions.
Mm-hmm.
Right, where government and government resources is going is targeting business people and victimizing business people and the business based on your political allegiance.
Mm.
Right?
And any government, Lincoln, I'm happy you raised that. Any government that goes about their actions like that must be cocksure, sure that they will never lose power again. Because the very same thing can happen to them. The same laws that apply to a minister. Yeah. The same laws that apply to a minister of Homeland Security signing PDOs now will also apply to our next minister doing it, you know.
Yeah,
but the country can't go. But the country can't go down that if what is wrong should be continued to be perpetuated by another party, it still is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because the system is not designed from constitutional protections to be in a constant state of emergency and using PDOs, which are not all right in my book. I know you say a PDA is all right, Lincoln. No, they're not. Because they're not envisioned to fight crime in that particular kind of way. There are constitutional parameters in how you fight crime and how you hold people accountable by the respective measures that you seek from the court to detain somebody, to search, etc., etc. And when we are in a constant state of emergency, it yields statements like that all right. Because the more a state encroaches and makes something habitual, the more desensitized. comes into that this is unusual.
You're absolutely right. And I'm not in support of the PDOs at all. Don't misunderstand my saying at all. I'm not in support of that. But anyway, gentlemen, have a good day. I'll give somebody else a chance.
Take care, Lincoln. Right now, it's only one political party who owns any building. I don't know of any other political party that owns a building. The only political party that owns a building, and everybody here grew up knowing Balisier House. I don't think is there anybody who listened to us now was here before Balisier House was there. I don't know. How old is Balisier House? Old as the hills.
But Tusala.
Exactly. And as far as I'm aware, PNM is the only person that owns a building. The only party that owns, because naturally they're the oldest party anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sure some parents used to tell children when they're passing Balisier House, don't look there, it's plenty of being there. So there are plenty of children that grow up being frightened of Balisier House.
I hope that is not the case. Hello, good morning to you.
Hey, hello, good morning, guys. What's up?
Good morning,
Robert.
Yeah, Robert.
Captain Ron.
Yeah, I want to personally thank you guys for the the Mother's Day gift. Appreciate that. You hear me?
Yeah, we hearing you.
Yeah, and I want to sponsor two tickets for the cruise.
Okay, no problem. Well, Robert, I will tell you how to get in contact. But you know how to get in contact with me. I will send some information for you, right?
Yeah.
No
Okay.
problem.
No problem.
We'll do a giveaway one of these mornings on behalf of yourself.
Yeah, and I still got like about 2 hours and 47 minutes away from Miami, so I'm on the road here. So,
Are you further past Orlando, Robert?
Yeah, I like about 3 hours away from Orlando, like close to Georgia border.
Oh, that's why. I was thinking you are closer to Miami than Orlando. That's why. I was wondering, were you driving 6 hours back to Miami?
Well, I'm going to wait in the airport for my wife. She coming in on Saturday, so I'm going to set one spot.
Oh Lord, you are special, man. Boy, you driving 6 hours just to meet your wife in an airport?
Learn the lesson, Wendell. Don't criticize it. Learn the lesson.
I ain't criticizing it. I'm amazed at what's up.
Learn the lesson. You didn't know that lesson. Learn it.
But when she left, I cried in the airport, in Jacksonville. You know why I cried?
Why is that?
Because she told me she was coming back.
Yeah, you go take your years.
You just destroy your lesson now. You destroy it and you mash it up.
Yeah, you mash up that one. Anyway, thanks very much, Robert.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right.
Okay.
So you, Robert, doing that 6 hour drive by himself? My God, no. I don't know if I could do that.
Wow. All right. Final caller, Zena.
Here I am again. Listen to me. Sir Charles, I told you, and I said it again when I spoke to you all earlier on. I said, they can't do people what they doing people now and expect that people will forget that a little money they may come with as a back pay and try to fool people. Fool me once. You can't fool me twice. I don't think people in Trinidad and Tobago so stupid. But you see, what I'm afraid of, the kind of things that we hearing, the requiring of Balisier House, the PNM, and everything. I thought it was just the expenditure for that to see if it was linked to certain type of monies. But when you want all the information, remember we people been paying dues for all the years, and you have the names and all that, because we have to send names when you're sending your list to Balisier House, and you have constituencies. I feel it have more in the mortar besides the person, and I link in, and you see me, I worried about them AI thing why I hear that loving too so much. My mind only telling me about cable, it only my ears ringing saying cable analytica. I'm afraid.
Cambridge Analytica, so your brain was telling you the wrong message.
Yeah. Well, it will be interesting to see as Mr. Gonzales
Flow
said.
Analytica, or Digital Analytica. She's in Cable Analytica. It's Cambridge.
But the harder one, she got it correct. Analytica.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it will be interesting to see how
she must be trying to call back all the way, Sir Charles.
She'll call right after the program done. I bet you my phone started ring.
Actually, you are very, very right, Richard.
Don't answer it. Don't answer it. In the name of Jesus.
Good morning.
Sir Charles, yeah. You cut me off. I wasn't finished. I wanted to, sorry, you didn't take calls. I wanted to tell the minister that since he not there, our area ain't getting water.
Which minister? Which minister?
Wassa, what happened to the water? 3 days now we ain't get water. Wassa.
All right.
But which minister is Barry Potter? Is that minister?
Stein.
You hear me,
Yeah, I don't need that for now.
Potter is the minister of water for water and pipe.
Minister of water. All right, guys. Thanks very much.
Folks, have a wonderful day. Remember to let go and let go. My God, I don't know why.
It's Wednesday. It's midweek, people. Put a smile on your face. Of course, netradiott.com. That's the address you go to on the World Wide Web to continue to listen to the excellent programming. And if you're listening to your smart devices, NETT Radio Trinidad on TuneIn. NETT Radio Trinidad on TuneIn. And you can get all of the programming from your smart devices wherever you are located across planet Earth. You can tune into excellent programming coming to you live out of Trinidad and Tobago. We thank you for joining us this morning. We know you have a choice about what you watch or listen to, whatever time zone you are in. And we appreciate that you chose ours. And we appreciate that. We do not take it for granted. Have a fantastic day, people. Remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health.
Yeah. When somebody in the chat said, how do you remember Balisier House when a Chinese man used to take care of it? Do you remember that?
Chinese man? I know
a Chinese man was a caretaker.
An old East Indian man.
Yeah, I remember him too. He used to tell you where to park and things too, not so?
Yeah. He was a character, boy. What the hell was his name, man? Somebody messaged me his name now. He passed away. We had a big wake for him at Balisier House when he passed. Oh goodness, what was his name? He used to smoke, and he could drink and smoke.
And that was how long ago?
He died within the last 10 years.
Okay, so then that means the Chinese man was probably before him.
Nah, that guy was actually living at Balisier House. I talking about. He was the caretaker there since I know Balisier House.
So
you must don't know it before the person who called, because remember this is since 1956.
Yeah.
But he must be there since then, yes? He was there since Eric Williams was there.
Well, maybe the Chinese man was there before him. Remember I said.
He must take over.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't.
He must take over.
They must be confusing the person. They are not Chinese caretaker in Balisier House. The first Chinese person to come into the PNM was a guy named Ronnie Williams. He was member of parliament in Port of Spain. You remember Ronnie Williams?
Yeah, I remember him.
That was the first Chinese I know in PNM.
All right, there we go.
All right, so you've been listening and watching the
Breakfast Show.
I don't know, it's like our eternity before you all say that.
Get up. It's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here. We bring in the soca way. Yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Maracas Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show energy.